This is Husker Volleyball on the Husker IMG Sports Network. Nebraska Volleyball is powered by Emeritus. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue and DeToe Subaru in Lincoln. Proud automotive partners of Husker Volleyball. For today's broadcast, we are partnered with the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff.
Coverage for you, a couple of different spots, if you will, TV and radio, KNB.TV, Allo Channel 15, and Mobius 1500. That's just the TV side of things. And our radio broadcast here on 101.7 FM, The Trail, KNEB. Thanks for making high school football on KNEB part of your Friday night. I've said it all week, and I'm going to say it again right now. It's hard to build this game up to what everyone wishes it was. Some great rivalry type of matchup, because honestly, if it's a rivalry game right now, it's a hammer and nail type of rivalry. Scottsbluff has won the last 8 matchups by an average score of 36-8. In the last 3 games, they've outscored the Bulldogs 158-29. Consider this, Scottsbluff has a chance to wind up as one of the best teams in school history. Gering has a first-year head coach, bunch of scheme changes, and a team full of kids that are trying to figure out how to win on high school football Friday nights. With all that said, I can't imagine these teams being as far apart as they are in terms of the product on the field right now. My partner again tonight is Scottsbluff principal, former high school head football coach Mike Holly. Mike, harken back to your coaching days, if you would. What's the key to trying to establish yourself as a coach in a brand new situation year one, while also trying to get a program that's been a little downtrodden back on track? How tough is that?
It's real tough. What you want to do is kind of like Coach Frost at Lincoln is trying to do right now. It's a culture change sometimes, and you got to get some buy-in, and sometimes that happens early in your first season. Sometimes it happens a little later. But you go out and you do the best you can, and you put your stuff in, and once your kids get to doing it a little bit and they get used to it, they'll gain a little confidence, and that really helps with the kid buy-in. It's not all about wins and losses either. I think it's about doing things the right way and improving from week to week. They've got a tough schedule ahead of them, and that they've already been through this year. So you look to see improvements, and you look to start doing little things right. So, I think whether they win, lose, or whatever the case is, I'm sure they're going to come out and they're going to want to see improvement from week to week and getting better, and that's kind of how that buy-in gets established. And I think once you do that, the big thing is if your kids are going to play hard for you, that's what you got to have, whether they win, whether they lose. But they've got that buy-in if they're out there busting their hump for you and playing hard and doing what you're asking them to do. We'll
hear from Josh Hyatt, the Gering head coach, here in a few moments, keeping things very positive and trying to keep the long term at the front of everyone's mind right now. Gering 0-4, lost at home big last week to Hastings. Scottsbluff, though, 4-0 off a road win at Sterling last week. And Mike, in that game, a slow start for the Cats, but for the second straight week, halftime adjustments were key, and they rolled.
They came out that second half, and they look like the same team that we had seen in the previous couple weeks, and I hadn't really seen that team that showed up in the first half yet, and I hope we don't see much more of that. And part of it was Sterling was a decent football team too, but I think we made a few mistakes, kind of got us in trouble, gave up a few things defensively that we certainly didn't do in the second half. And I like that second half team showed up for us last week.
We've got pregame interviews with both these head coaches, Joe Benson and the Cats' perspective, coming up here in just a bit. That means up first we'll get to the road coach tonight. Not a long trip. Josh Hyatt.
When we transform Nebraska corn into ethanol, it doesn't disappear from the food supply. It just takes a little detour. Ethanol is made from the starch. The rest of the corn becomes livestock feed to create meat and dairy products, corn oil, sweetener, and other food ingredients, and maybe a little carbon dioxide to make your soft drinks fizzy. Homegrown ethanol helps satisfy America's hunger for energy and the world's appetite for feed and food. Nebraska's family corn farmers, sustaining innovation.
is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes high-performance lubricants and fuel improvers. We've been helping customers improve their operations for over 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and cut out the middleman and offer excellent service and value. Our products last longer and work better so that you spend less time maintaining equipment and more time making money. Whether you're in a factory, farm, fleet, or food processing facility, Hydrotex can help you. Visit hydrotexoil.com or call 308-635-8162. Buyers Realty has been helping people in the community find their dream home since 1994. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, our friendly staff will put in the work to help you reach the finish line. We also do property management for buildings in Scottsbluff, Gering, and beyond. You can find an extensive list of our properties by visiting our website at callbuyersrealty.com. Or you can visit our Scottsbluff offices on Avenue B, right next to Bumper to Bumper. Panhandle's best, Buyers Realty. Community strong, community proud, we have what you're looking for.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Game coach's comments. Jeff Kelly caught up with Gering head coach Josh Hyatt earlier this week.
Talk about last week's game a little bit. The score, you are down 21-0, and it just seemed that things were kind of repeating themselves. What was the mood of the team?
We've been trying to talk to them about not getting down and not starting to point fingers, and I thought this week they kind of took that to heart. You know, we're down 21-0, and we come down and get a big pass play to Riley and then stick one in with Colton on the slant route on the outside. And at that point, I really thought, here's the moment where we turn around our season. Unfortunately, that didn't turn out the way we thought it would for us. But we talked to our kids all week about we're one play away. We're one guy not missing an assignment away from really competing in these games. And obviously, we'd like to be competing in more of them so far in the season. But I think we're getting there. I think we're getting close. We're building. They're starting to look promising.
There's being some progress made. Tell me about some of that progress that you're seeing.
Yeah, you know, you're starting to see kids understand what we're trying to do as far as like where our blocking schemes are trying to take place, and we're starting to be able to show them on film things that go well and things that were really close to going well, but we're like one step away from being done right. There's just been a handful of times where we're one kid away from breaking something, or we're one finished block as opposed to just somebody just engaging away from blocking, breaking something on offense. Offensively, we've been talking about consistency all year, but it really does come down to if we all consistently do our job instead of just some of us consistently doing our job, then we're going to be a better football team, and you're going to see that on the field.
One of the bright spots, at least I thought, Friday night, you were able to get good pressure on their quarterback. You had 3 or 4 quarterback sacks. What worked right there?
We put some things in a little bit different that were able to help us get different looks, but we also have some D linemen who are really starting to figure out technique and pass rush moves and attacking half a man, putting on a move after they see it, that it's pass. I thought our interior 2 guys got good pressure because of that situation. Garrett Kahn had 1 sack last week where he got his hands extended on half a guy on a double. He was getting doubled, but he only just attacked the one guy like we've been teaching him since day one, and he was able to get in and get pressure, and then he finished it off with a nice sack. So you're right. I think those things are evidence of things starting to go to be learned, to be executed in a better way.
Flip it over to the offensive side now. We've probably come to expect some good runs by Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett is really starting to run the ball like a tailback. He's starting to get downhill. He's starting to square up his pads. He's making one move and straight getting back vertical. I'd like him to be about 40 pounds heavier and about 3 seconds faster, but the kid is a great kid and just works hard, and you're starting to see those things pay off. I think he's averaging like 95 to 100 yards a game rushing.
Bit of a change that we saw last week. We saw Anthony Walker come in at quarterback. You moved Colton out to a wide receiver. How much will we see that this week?
We're going to see that a lot more. Anthony is probably going to be our guy going forward, just because we need to get another playmaker on the edge and on the outside. Right now we've got Turner Ray out there at our Y spot, and he's doing a really good job of blocking and executing stuff, but need a little more explosion out of that. And Turner's young, and he's going to be a great football player for us in the future. So we're just trying to get a weapon outside, and then Anthony throws a little bit more consistent ball. And we got to find a way to loosen up the box a little bit and get some passing yards going too.
District play starts tonight. Do you look at this as kind of a new season?
Absolutely. I told our kids on Monday it's a fresh start. Granted, we haven't had success and we've got some bad scores put up behind us, but what happens in district play determines your postseason. So we can go 0-4 in the first 4 games and turn around and go 5-0 if that would be possible. That would be great for us.
How do you approach a rivalry game?
It's hard as a coach. Sometimes you want to approach every game as just another game. You know, we always talk it's a nameless, faceless opponent, but it comes with a little more emotion because these kids grew up together. They played, in the Carpenter Center League or the YMCA League to all the way up, coming together. They know each other pretty well, so it's got an interesting dynamic to it. Scottsbluff is right now where we want to be, so we're working to get there. So we again want to measure ourselves against what that is.
No surprise that Scottsbluff is going to ground and pound on all of their opponents. How do you approach that?
We got a few tweaks this week that we are putting in to try to keep them hemmed in, to try to keep them from breaking loose. I feel like if you can keep them from getting going, and make them drive the field, then we can slow them down and wait for something positive to happen. We do get a Logan Murdoch back. He's going to be a bright spot for us, I think, going forward, because he's itching to play. He's served his time on his mistake and learned from those things that he had to. But he's ready to play football, and he's one of our better football players. So I think we're going to see him make a difference on our defense.
Now time for our Team Auto Center key to the game and a key for tonight's game.
Defensively, it's containing their running game, just making them chip away, running our feet on tackles, and trying to make sure we limit the amount of missed tackles and missed assignments we have. Offensively, the old word of the year is that consistency, and we just got to do it, and it's going to come eventually. I know it is. It's there on film. We're close. And it's hard to say we're close with the results that we've gotten, but I know we're close, and I know where we're going. It's like Coach Frost says, I know where the direction that we're headed is the right direction. It's just going to take time to get there, and I hope that tonight's the night that we see it all put together.
Jeff Kelly and Josh Hyatt from earlier this week. The Gering side of things for tonight's matchup. We get to the 4-0.
Being an Allo customer just got even better. 3 times better, in fact. We've tripled our standard internet speed from 100 to 300 megs at no additional cost to you. This isn't one of those limited time offers that will melt away either. 3 times the streaming, 3 times the gaming, 3 times the uploading, all for the same price. Why? Because we love our customers. Allo, no gimmicks, no limits, no kidding, and still no contracts.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Now at Arby's, you can get 30 euros for $90. Or for those who aren't trying to cater a Greek family reunion, they're 2 for $6.
Arby's, we have the meats.
For sandwiches.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
National anthem time right now here at Bearcat Stadium. We'll take another quick timeout. When we come back, we hear from Scottsbluff head coach Joe.
At Platte Valley Bank, we know when you need a loan, time is of the essence. We are locally owned with decisions made right here at the bank. Our lenders are experienced, efficient individuals who are committed to our customers. Our flexible lending policies make it possible to fulfill loan requests, big or small, quickly. Whether you want to purchase a car, home, or even start a business, our committed associates are here to help. Stop into any location today and see what Platte Valley Bank can do for you.
Have you heard the exciting news? Western Nebraska Regional Airport will be offering flights with United Airlines operated by SkyWest beginning January 30th, 2018. What's even better? You'll get to earn and use your United points. Reservations with United are now available, plus all United miles can be earned and redeemed with all flights. While you're at Western Nebraska Regional Airport, grab a bite to eat at the Flight Deck restaurant, plus Hearst Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. So make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Anyone who calls it a hobby doesn't understand. We know that a person's passion is what drives them. And that's why every memorial we create is a true reflection of the individual. Only a Dignity Memorial professional can celebrate a life like no other. Find out how at dignitynebraska.com.
Things are getting wild over at Paul Reed Construction and Supply. Now through October 15th, take 10% off all Wild gear and Grizzly products. Come visit us today at our showroom on 10th Street in Gering.
Chris Catrone back with you on the pregame show tonight ahead of the Scottsbluff Gering matchup. Earlier this week, I spoke with Scottsbluff head man Joe Benson. Coach, before we get to the Gering matchup tonight, let's go back to last Friday. You kind of got punched in the mouth a little bit on the road over there at Sterling. Unfamiliar opponent, new environment, all those things. And next thing you know, it's 18-17 Sterling on the scoreboard. What happened early?
You know what? I thought we were ready to play. We did not have a very good week of practice, so that bothered me. But I thought we were ready to play, and they executed and did a great job. We hadn't seen that on film, and they outplayed us for a quarter and a half, and then we got our feet underneath us and took care of business.
Really thought maybe that was the first time this year you'd seen a true read option type team where the quarterback would either really give it to the back, pull it, could run it, but he could also chuck it, and anytime they threw, they were looking for a big play.
Yeah, and he set himself back probably 6 to 6.5 yards in shotgun, and we hadn't seen that. Usually teams are 4 to 5, and that 1 yard made a huge difference. We had a hard time getting to him. You could tell right away that we were going to have a hard time to him. So second half we locked him down a little tighter, and he had to hold onto the ball, and we got some pressure on him.
Obviously, pressure makes life a lot easier on defensive backs, that's for sure, when you can cut down the amount of time you've got to cover. What'd you see on some of those pass plays? Paris got beat on a slant. Chris, the same thing, and they hit one over top as well that it looked like Chris really took the bait on the play action.
Yeah, on the one, the kid just made a great play. On the other one, Chris was looking into the backfield. Paris was supposed to actually get safety help. He actually did a good job on that coverage, and our safety came underneath, and they threw over the top of him. So that really wasn't his fault. It was nobody's fault, really. It was just a great play. And then we had a couple of busts on their zone read. But you know what? You got to give kids credit. They made plays.
Yeah, the Isaac Harris kid's one of the top sprinters, I think, in that class in the state of Colorado. Someone was telling me from Sterling after the game. So at some point, like you said, you tip your cap to the opponent. They got other teams have good players too, and they made plays.
Oh yeah, it's hard for people to understand that. Other teams practice too, and they're going to give you everything they've got. They've got good players. Every game's not going to turn out just beautifully, where you just score after score after score. We've been pretty fortunate that way this year, but you're going to have struggles. We've talked to kids from day one about resiliency, and they showed it. That was that in the North Platte or in the Grand Island Northwest game were two games where we had to be resilient, and we needed that.
Yeah, and you made a bunch of adjustments, or at least a couple of tweaks here and there at halftime in each of those games, and you've really kind of just put your foot on the gas pedal and dominated each of those games the last 2 weeks in the second half.
We have, and I will tell you this is the truth. This has not happened for probably 20 to 22 years. These kids, this is their team. This is it's a player-led team. They buckle up whenever they have to, either at the beginning of the game or at halftime, and take care of business. They're the ones that are making this happen. It's not us.
When we spoke early last week, you said Jordan Hort was going to be good to go. Did I see any of Jordan Hort on the game field on Friday?
No, his ankle just never got better, so we sat him out. And if he would have played, he probably would have been about 75%.
I want to move to the offensive side of the football, really both sides of the ball, and I failed to bring this kid up last week. He plays a ton of snaps both sides. Jeremiah Delzer gets rewarded with the long touchdown catch. For a kid that's out there grinding on the postgame show, Judd Hall said he plays so hard that occasionally gets him into trouble. What's a kid like Jeremiah do with everyone else? He's one of the 4 captains, and of the captains, he might be the least recognized at times.
Well, yeah, that's probably true, and he's a kid. Nobody wants to win more than he does. I don't think he really cares about his individual stuff. He's a kid. He just does his job. I mean, if he's got to block, if he's got to do all the dirty work, he'll do it, and he's invaluable.
Talking with Joe Benson, head football coach at Scottsbluff. Coach, let's just be honest, it's tough to make this Scottsbluff-Gering rivalry into more than in what it really is right now, and that's 2 programs that are just in completely different spots. Part of me is wondering if this is the biggest gap we've seen between the two, a coaching change with Coach Hyatt in for Coach Eckert this year, and you guys with maybe one of your better football teams you've ever had. Has the chasm been any wider between the 2 schools that are so close?
I don't know. As a coach, I'm one of those guys I hate to think about that way. So I won't, but, we're very fortunate. We've got good athletes.
When you pop on the game film of Gering right now, what are some things that as a football coach you look at and say, well, they're doing this fairly well, it's something they can build off of?
They play with great enthusiasm early in the game. You can tell. I mean, they're going nuts in the last couple of games against Torrington and Hastings on the sidelines. So that, and there's a great enthusiasm. They've moved the ball well early in the game. Defensively, I think they're very solid. So there's a lot of pieces there. It's just you just got to get in that habit and culture of winning, and eventually they will.
I'm sure you're going to say the same thing as Coach Hyatt said, and that's regardless of opponent this week, as a head football coach, you're worrying about your team, your ability to have good practices, your ability to show up on Friday night here and be fundamentally sound. What's the message to your kids been like the first couple of days this week as you get ready for a team that might not be able to compete talent-wise?
Well, I tell you, the message started Friday night at 9:15 after that game at Sterling. All the coaches that spoke, it was the same thing. We didn't prepare very well last week, and I told them this coming week is a nameless, faceless opponent, and we've had great practices this week. We haven't practiced like this for about 3 weeks.
Opening game of the district season for Scottsbluff here at home tonight against Gering. We'll get you out of here on this with Joe Benson. Coach, our key to the game brought to you by Team Auto Center. You get that free lifetime warranty with every new vehicle purchase at Team Auto. Coach, what's it take to get that district win and stay undefeated on the year?
Extremely physical and execute on both sides of the ball.
Pretty simple recipe week in and week out for the Scottsbluff football team this year. Coach, as always, thanks a lot for the time and best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Big thanks to both Joe Benson and Josh Hyatt for their time this week at KNEB. Starting lineups on the way. Kickoff approaching tonight at
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged. Fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form. And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience.
Visit the experts at Paul Reed Construction, your authorized Big Green Egg dealer.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery, to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting, though, that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
This is Mike. Mike likes his car. Mike likes to save money. And Mike likes to breathe. So Mike fills up with E15 with 15% American ethanol. The clean octane in E15 gives Mike the performance he wants from his engine and the clean air he wants for his family. Better yet, E15 costs less at the pump. Higher octane, cleaner air, lower cost. E15 sure gives Mike a lot to like.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com.
Chris Cottrell, Mike Holly with you tonight here on KNEB.TV and 101.7 The Trail. It'll be Scottsbluff receiving the football tonight. We're at about 70 degrees, wind from the southeast at 15 miles per hour. Set the starting lineups for you right now. We'll start with the offensive unit for Scottsbluff. Quarterback is Sebastian Harsh, a junior, 6'3", 220. Chris Busby, the main ball carrier, 5'10", 175, a senior. He's over 500 yards rushing on the season, 128 and change per game, 6.8 yards per carry. He scored 7 touchdowns. Saw a lot of Jacob Cruel last night, and he looked excellent in his attempts carrying the ball last week. He'll be a halfback. Tight ends will be Jack Darnell, a junior, and Jeremiah Delzer, a senior. The big guys up front, you've got Kyler Counts at a tackle, a 230-pound junior, 245, a senior, Nathan Harms. Inside interior guys at the guard spots, Creighton Dyke, 5'10", 195, a junior, and Terrence Mokiak, 5'11", 225, and a junior. Brandon Larson, a senior, snapping the football, and Garrett Nelson will be at that fullback spot. We'll set the starters for you defensively for Gering when we come back right after.
Our roots are right here in this area. We're local. Many of us were born and raised in the communities that we serve. Because of that, we make our decisions right here at the bank. Some places have local branches. We have local roots. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Exceptional care, right here at home. That's the mission of Morrill County Community Hospital. Morrill County Community Hospital is a 20-bed critical access hospital that owns and operates clinics throughout Bridgeport, including specialty outreach clinics and Morrill County Home Health Clinic, as well as Chimney Rock Medical Center, located in Bayard. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time at Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska.
What are you waiting for? A 6-year limited powertrain warranty? Savings on performance-matched implements? 0% APR financing for up to 5 years? Head down to your local Kubota dealer before September 30th and take advantage of this incredible offer on the BX Series, America's best-selling subcompact tractor. Kubota. This is what we do.
Come into Sandberg Implement, your local Kubota dealer.
Your local Kubota dealer is Sandberg Implement in Gering.
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged, fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form. And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience.
Visit the experts at Paul Reed Construction, your authorized Big Green Egg dealer.
Degrees. Don't forget to register for the Papa Murphy's Text Club, a sweet deal always waiting on you there. We gave you the starting lineups offensively for Scottsbluff, brought to you by WNCC. Learn more about Western Nebraska Community College. It's wncc.edu. Fall classes underway online for more information. We'll get you the starters for Gering in just a moment, but we are ready for some football here tonight. Anthony Walker with a little squib kick angled towards the near sideline. It's going to be picked up by Chris Busby. Sidesteps one defender, still on his feet, and the play is still going. Busby breaks contain. He's at midfield. Cut back run to the 45 of Gering inside the Bulldogs 40 and tackled around the 38-yard line. And Mike, it looked like he was dangerously close to stepping out of bounds. I think some of the Gering kids let up a little bit, and Chris just kept going.
It looked like he was headed that way, and he was right on the fringe on one of those steps. And, man, he somehow stayed in. The official was right there watching it, and Chris made a spin move back to the middle, and holy cow, there went the speed. And, oh, man, if he'd have kept going toward their sideline, he might have broke it.
Cats in the all-red uniforms tonight. Gering, the road team, with the blue pants and white game jerseys. First play from scrimmage, snap to Sebastian Harsh. The big quarterback runs right, stays on his feet, and he is tackled at around the 30-yard line. That'll be a gain of 9 on first down. Scottsbluff now with second down and short. 30 seconds in to this opening quarter here tonight. Defensively, you've got Adric Kahn, Johnny Kester, John Lopez, and Zach Wilson up front. Garrett M. Kahn was injured at practice yesterday. Word is he is out for the season with a knee injury. Second play of the game, handoff goes to Chris Busby. Busby to the second level, tackled just shy of the 20-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 9 yards and a chain mover for this Bearcat offensive unit. They average 309 yards a game on the ground, 116 per game through the air. That gets them well over 400 yards per contest. They average 40 points per game. A little over a minute gone by. Reifschneider splits out wide left, the big play receiver for Scottsbluff. Direct snap goes to Garrett Nelson. That offset, tight fullback, tackled it around the 15-yard line. A host of defenders there for Gering, including Max Clausen. Also up off the pile, Justin Scott. That'll be a pickup of 5 yards for Garrett Nelson. Coming into play tonight, he had 4 rushes for 23 yards.
Offense is looking good so far, Chris. A couple 9-yard gains and 5. Offensive line is getting her done, and the backs are hitting it.
10-10 to play. They fake the handoff. They're going to throw a little fade route, and just a little miscommunication that time. Ball a little too far inside for Reifschneider. Had to adjust and could not get back towards the middle of the football field for the catch in the end zone. That'll make it 3rd down and 5. In coverage, Riley Shaneman for the Gering Bulldogs. Shaneman, a junior, 5'7", 170 on a corner spot. Opposite side, Brady Radzimski, a sophomore. Linebackers, Justin Scott, Brendan Williams, and Logan Murdoch, all 3 seniors. Murdoch's first game of the year. Turner Ray, a sophomore, and the free safeties, Anthony Walker. They're going to hand it to Jacob Cruel. Cruel runs left, spins off a defender. Cruel at the 5, steps out of a tackle and into the end zone. A 15-yard touchdown run for Jacob Cruel on his opening carry of the night. And our first score of the night comes with 9:58 to play in this first quarter. It's Cruel with a 15-yard touchdown. And Mike, last week, Cruel looked electric.
He did, and he looked pretty good on that first play he ran right there, too. He's hitting the hole hard. He's got good balance. He had vision to see where that opening was and continued it outside. So Jacob's playing some good football right now.
Anthony Walker, or check that, that's Caleb Walker. Opposite side kicker and quarterback's Anthony. Caleb Walker for Scottsbluff with the PAT. Now 16 of 20 on the year, 7-0 early.
Bye, Mom. Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Where can you find gifts for everyone? TC and More. That's where. Come in and look at what you've been missing. Gifts for the ladies. Gifts to remember. The gift of light. Gifts for your home. Gifts for the kids. Gifts for the Husker fan. For the perfect gift, stop in and visit TC and More, downtown Scottsbluff. And remember, TC and More still has all of your children's educational materials.
Chris Cottrell, Mike Conley back with you tonight on the TV side at KNEB and 101.7 The Trail. The kickoff from Jerry Escamilla bounces shy of the goal line. Shaneman and Radzimski talk it over. That ball shot between them and bounced in and out of the end zone. Gering will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And again, that kickoff unit, and in particular the kickoff man with a touchback, and Scottsbluff's had a bunch of those this year. And that's really put the defense in some nice spots to start drives out. To the line of scrimmage, this Bulldog offense, led by Anthony Walker, who gets the start at quarterback tonight. Walker under center, and he's going to roll right. Not sure if that was a busted play. A tackle made by Keegan Reifschneider as Walker picks up 1 yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 now for the Gering High Bulldogs. Head coach is Josh Hyatt, first season at the helm. Came over from North Platte, where he served as the defensive coordinator there for the past 8 seasons prior to this. So Walker is quarterback. In the backfield, Brendan Williams, 5'9", 180, a senior, and Garrett W. Kahn, 5'7", 175, also a senior, averaging 80 yards a game, 5 yards, close to 5 yards per carry. Walker under center, straight drop, a flag flies from the near sideline with 9:17 to play here in the first quarter. False start against the Bulldogs. That'll cost them 5. They'll be behind the chains now, looking at 2nd down and 14. Up front, Johnny Castor, John Lopez at a tackle. And we'll have to... Garrett Imcon is out. He would have been the opposite tackle. The injury just occurred last night, not in uniform tonight. Max Clausen, the center. Guards are Adric Kahn and Zach Wilson. Receivers you'll see tonight, Tommy Ganos, Colton Evers, Riley Shaneman, some Brady Radzimski, and Quentin Janacek at times. Walker, straight drop, fires a pass and overshoots his intended target that time. Out in the pass route was Brendan Williams, and overshot the target, and that'll make it 3rd down and 14 with 8:55 to play here in the first quarter.
Bearcat defense has Gering behind the chains right now and looking for a big stop on 3rd down here and hopefully get good field position out of it. Gering's got the ball inside their own 20 right now, so Bearcats can get a stop, should have good field position.
Gering comes out with 2 receivers to each side. Shaneman slot to the left. Williams slot right side. Lone back is Kahn behind Walker, who's under center. Straight drop. Some pressure comes. A jump ball, 50-50 ball. And with all the pressure on the quarterback that time, really defensive backs and receivers alike struggled to find that ball mid-flight. Intended receiver was Riley Shaneman. That'll be a 3-and-out and an obvious punting situation right now for the Gering Bulldogs. Anthony Walker is averaging 38 yards per punt on the year. This will be his 13th punt. 8:50 to play. Dangerous return game with Reifschneider and Cameron Geary. Snap back to Walker. Walker, nice booming kick. That's going to hit in play and then bounce out of bounds far sideline, shy of midfield. Looks like they'll mark it at maybe the 48 or 49 yard line. So quick 3-and-out for the Bearcat defensive unit. And that means this Gering defensive crew is back onto the field quickly. And Mike, if you're Gering, regardless of what the scoreboard winds up saying tonight, this is just a night where you've got to stay going to work, right? You just got to do your job each and every play.
Yeah, especially with Scottsbluff style offense. You know, a lot of people call it playing in a phone booth or whatever, and they're going to come right at you. So it's a chance where no matter what your record is, you still get to go out there and do some contact and hit people, which is a lot of fun with football.
And we've got a loose football and a Gering fumble recovery. Sebastian Harsh on the carry. The line of scrimmage was the 48. Harsh ran it down inside the 30, pickup of around 19, and then he coughed it up. And Gering forces a turnover, and they're going to have it 1st and 10. Looks like that fumble recovery was made by Adric Kahn as Harsh got a little loose with the football, and the Bulldogs take over 1st and 10.
And that's what they did. They got to go out and hit somebody there and made contact and made a big play. Now Gering's got the ball back.
They're going to hand it off on the first play. Luke Rohr comes up from a linebacker spot. Garrett Nelson in on the tackle as well, as Garrett W. Kahn is dropped for no gain on the play. Kahn, 5'7", 175. You know what you're going to get. He's going to run hard each and every time the ball's put in his belly. 5'7", 175, a senior. Garrett Kahn with 239 yards on the season coming into play tonight. And again, that's just shy of 80 yards a game, and he's just under 5 yards per carry. Junior quarterback Anthony Walker under center, ball left hash. 7-0 Scottsbluff. They loft the ball out to Riley Shaneman. Pass is complete. Tackle made far side by Keegan Reifschneider. That's a gain of 1. That'll make it 3rd down and 9. Little confidence booster right there for the junior Anthony Walker. Short gain, but a gain nonetheless and a completion. Maybe the most important thing there, if you're Walker trying to build some confidence, they started the year with Colton Ebers at quarterback, and if you heard the pregame, Coach Josh Hyatt just said we needed to get more players on the field, and that meant moving a playmaker like Ebers out wide to a receiver spot and putting Walker in at quarterback.
And that was a long throw he had to make there, so good execution by Walker.
7 minutes and 25 seconds to play. Clock continues to run here in this opening quarter. Walker late to the huddle with the play call. And the Cats set things up defensively. Gering to the line of scrimmage. They'll set trips out to the left, single receiver to the right. Ebers, the wide man left, under center Walker. Ball just inside the right hash. He's going to roll this direction. Tough throw to make with pressure bearing down on him from Josiah Diolis, and an incomplete pass for Walker and Scottsbluff after the fumble and the turnover. They're going to get the football back. Another 3 and out. Back-to-back 3 and outs for this Scottsbluff defensive unit. Allowing 13.5 points a game, just 54 points all season long. And for the first time this year, the starting unit last week, Mike, gave up over multiple touchdowns in a game.
Yeah, that's Sterling with that play action. You know, they were able to really take advantage of a couple things there. So looks like the Bearcat defense is playing pretty stout right now. So good field position again. We'll see if the offense can get going this time.
Walker punts it away. Fair catch called for and made by Keegan Reifschneider. So Scottsbluff will have it 1st and 10. They'll set up shop at their own 36-yard line, far side, left hash. 6:52 to play. Scottsbluff got on the board with 9:58 to go in this opening quarter. A Jacob Krull 15-yard touchdown run. 3rd possession of the night for the Bearcats. The last one ended in a Sebastian Harsh fumble. Low snap. Harsh hands it to Busby. Busby runs right, got a crease. Stays on his feet across midfield. That's a 1st down run to around the 47-yard line. Gain of 17 for Busby. And that'll move the chains. The Bearcats are in business here offensively with the ball in Gering territory. 6:44. And along that offensive line, Joe McLeod on the right side, along with Jeremiah Delzer, the tight end, helping pave the way for Busby. Man in motion, back to the backfield. Now they're going to play action pass. They've got Delzer wide open, and he dropped it. Jeremiah Delzer's going to hear about that one for days in the locker room and on the sideline. A touchdown was right in his hands, and he just dropped it. Perfect ball from Sebastian Harsh, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
That was a well-thrown ball. He was too open.
He had plenty of time to think about it.
That was it, too much. He was too wide open.
The entire secondary took the fake on the play action. Delzer ran loose down the field. No one within 15 yards of him, and he just flat dropped it. 2nd and 10, 6:22 to play. First quarter action tonight at Bearcat Stadium. Opening district game for both these teams. There's Jacob Krull, hard running inside the 45. He'll be tackled at the 41-yard line. Give Krull, the junior, a gain of 6. That'll make it 3rd down and 4. Last week, Mike, 8 carries, 71 yards, a touchdown, had a 40-yard run called back, and he had a great catch and run where he left a couple of defenders in his wake. Just a very natural ball-in-hand type runner.
Yeah, he had an excellent game, showed a lot, and he's off to a good start again tonight. His first 2 carries, he's hitting the hole hard and not going down on the first contact.
3rd down, handoff goes to Busby. Busby shoots through the defensive line to the 2nd level. Multiple defenders, Riley Shaneman, one of them there to help out on the tackle that's made at the 30, a gain of 11. And we've talked about that underrated aspect for Busby, that yards after contact. You wouldn't think he'd get a bunch, but I'll bet you first contact came right at the line of scrimmage, and he got 11.
Yeah, he did not go down on first contact either. He is hard to bring down and kept moving and got some speed going again. Then the pile got on him, and he used his strength and kept moving the pile. And a good hard run by Chris.
Under 5.5 minutes to play in this first quarter. 7-0 the lead for Scottsbluff. Snap, Harsh gives it to Busby. Busby loose to the 2nd level. Tackle made defensively by Quentin Janacek, a defensive back, as we come up on the 5-minute mark. Line of scrimmage was the 30. And Busby runs it down to the 13-yard line, a gain of 17 for Chris Busby. Cats inside the red zone. 3rd possession here in the quarter. They scored on their first, turned it over on their 2nd. Wing back to the right is Krull. Snap, Harsh going to keep it himself. Bottled up, stood up at the line of scrimmage, and then tackled right around the 10-yard line. Looks like they'll put the nose of the football on the 10. That'll be a gain of 4 for Harsh, who had 9 carries, 99 yards, and 2 TDs last week. He's averaging a little over 8 yards per carry on the season, and he's scored 7 touchdowns himself. Harsh and Busby each with 7. Josiah Diolas, who I'm sure we'll see plenty of tonight, has 3 TDs on the ground, and Krull has a couple himself. 7-0 Scottsbluff. Again, snap low. Busby gets the handoff. Nice gang tackle job by the Bulldogs defensive unit that time. Janacek again in on the tackle. And from his linebacker spot, Justin Scott. So from 2nd and 6 to 3rd down and 4, a gain of 2 on that play for Chris Busby. Excuse me. 3 minutes, 36 seconds to play in the first quarter. 7-0 lead for Scottsbluff. Nelson, the tight set fullback. Wing right, now in motion is Krull. Handoff to Busby. Busby, and a nice job defensively again by the Bulldogs. Brady Radzimski up from a secondary spot. Justin Scott again in on the tackle, and it's going to be 4th down and about 2. Another 2-yard gain for Busby.
There's a lot of window dressing with that play. I don't recall seeing that one, Chris. We had motion go across the formation and some kind of reverse pivot and counter action, almost like an inside trap play, and we didn't get it blocked like we needed to, but that's one that I don't recall seeing yet. So a little offensive wrinkle in there.
Yeah, all that extra stuff doesn't matter much if you don't block it up front. They block and get the job done this time around on 4th down and short, and it's Sebastian Harsh with his 8th rushing touchdown of the season from 6 yards out with 2:45 to play here in the first quarter. Cruel a touchdown run. Harsh now a TD scamper. Walker on again. Caleb Walker to attempt the PAT. And Scottsbluff leads it 14-0 with 2:45 to play in this opening quarter. Cats up by 2 scores on the West Coast scoreboard.
When we transform Nebraska corn into ethanol, it doesn't disappear from the food supply. It just takes a little detour. Ethanol is made from the starch. The rest of the corn becomes livestock feed to create meat and dairy products, corn oil, sweetener, and other food ingredients, and maybe a little carbon dioxide to make your soft drinks fizzy. Homegrown ethanol helps satisfy America's hunger for energy and the world's appetite for feed and food. Nebraska's family corn farmers, sustaining innovation.
KNEB.TV and 101.7 The Trail. Chris Cottrell, Mike Hawley here in the Logos broadcast booth tonight. Stop into Logos, and the guys there will custom design it, print it, and have it ready for you on game night. A little fake reverse on the kick return. Ball stays in the hands of Riley Shaneman, tackled far side, shy of the 20-yard line. So a long field to navigate now for this Bulldog offense, which has struggled throughout the year and has gone B, 3 and out on their first 2 possessions of the night. Back to Logos, no job too big or small for Jeremy and his crew. Logos in downtown Gering. A 14-0 lead for Scottsbluff. They've scored on 2 of their 3 possessions so far in this game. Their middle offensive look tonight resulted in a turnover. 1st and 10 for Gering. And the handoff goes to Garrett W. Kahn, and he's going to be tackled. Let's see if they give him the line of scrimmage on the carry. It looks like they will. No gain for Kahn. It'll be 2nd down and 10. First-year head coach. With that comes scheme changes. And you were already talking about a team that has only won 2 games since late September of 2013. So a lot of change, and a lot of these young guys just trying to figure out what it takes to win at the varsity level in Class B if you're talking about Gering. Scottsbluff shows blitz with Delzer and Rohr at the line of scrimmage, and they're coming, and it's Luke Rohr in the backfield, sacks Anthony Walker back at the 10-yard line. Walker loses 8. Rohr picks up the sack. That is his first sack of the season. Came in with 11 total tackles and a tackle for loss included. Big sack for Luke Rohr, first-year starter on the defensive side of the football. And as this year's gone along, he's starting to make more and more plays.
Yeah, he used his speed there. He was all over Walker before he could even get into his drop. So Luke really found a way to shoot that gap and get through there.
3rd down and long now for Gering. Walker under center, trips to the right side. That's the short side of the field. Ball inside the right hash. Snap back to Walker. He's going to look, and the pass is overthrown, looking for Colton Ebers, far side. And that'll make it 4th down and about 18 or 19. They've got 19 on the scoreboard, so go with that. 4th and 19. 3 and outs already defensively for the Scottsbluff stop unit tonight. Walker 1 for 4 coming in to tonight, passing for 8 yards a week ago. He waits in his own end zone. Nice booming kick, and a fair catch called for and made by Reifschneider just inside the 50-yard line. So the ball stays in the Gering half of the field. And we get set for the 4th drive of the night for Scottsbluff. High school sports on KNEB, brought to you by Ohio National. Just remember, Ohio National says life changes will be there. KNEB.TV 101.7 The Trail, and some of you listening tonight online at KNEB.com. We appreciate you finding us on the World Wide Web. It's Cruel now split out wide right. Two receivers to the left, Busby and Reifschneider. They show motion. They're going to hand it to Busby. Dips in, now bounces outside. Stiff arms a defender, and Busby picks up a first down. They'll mark him just shy of the 35-yard line, a pickup of 14 on the play for Busby.
Busby's already up to 72 yards on the night, Chris, on 7 carries, so 10 yards a pop.
Came in averaging right around 8 yards per carry on the year. We're under 40 seconds to play in this first quarter. Scottsbluff leads 14-0. Diolas now, one of the backup running backs to the right of Harsh. Josiah Diolas gets the handoff, dances to the left as he got to the line of scrimmage, and tackled right around the line of scrimmage. Tim Bernhardt in on the stop, one of the big defensive linemen. Bernhardt, 5'9", 280, a senior. Gain of 1 for Diolas. Averaging 7 yards per carry, and that's going to be the final play of the opening quarter. 1 of 4 in the books here tonight at Bearcat Stadium, and Scottsbluff in this crosstown rivalry matchup leads Gering by the score of 14-0 on the West Coast.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gering, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gering at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
Care Heilbron's State Farm agent is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbron and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
High school football coverage on KNEB.TV and 101.7 The Trail. Bearcat Stadium tonight for Scottsbluff and Gering. I'm Chris Cottrell. My partner is Mike Colley. A 2nd down and 9 facing Scottsbluff as they lead 14-0. Opening play of the second quarter. Play action, slant route. It's Reifschneider on the catch. Look for a quick catch and cut back. Nothing really there after the catch. Tackle made. That's 36. I don't see a 36 listed, and I don't have one on my depth chart. But a nice tackle after the catch by Reifschneider. It'll be 3rd down and 3, a gain of 7 on the completion. Harsh to Reifschneider. Radzimski will be defending against Reifschneider near side. 2 receivers to the left. Cruel wide right. They'll show motion with Busby. They fake the handoff. Now it's Harsh. Harsh untouched, 15, 10, 5. And pay dirt for the second time tonight for the big quarterback, the junior, Sebastian Harsh. And with 11:14 to play in quarter number 2, Scottsbluff punches it in once again on the 26-yard touchdown run for Sebastian Harsh. Caleb Walker on once again to attempt the PAT. Snap back. Hill gets the hold down, and Walker blasted through. 11:14 to play in the first half. All Bearcats tonight as
95% of American corn farms are family-owned.
Farmers grow 70% more corn per ounce of fertilizer than just 35 years ago.
The energy to grow a bushel of corn has dropped by 37% over the past 30 years.
Farmers have cut soil erosion by 44% through new tillage methods.
This is sustaining innovation, and it's how Nebraska corn farmers are growing more with less.
on the web at nebraskacorn.org.
Beat the heat and play inside with Planet Bounce at the Monument Mall. Bounce houses, concession stand, and the largest redemption arcade in town, Planet Bounce has hours of fun. Call today to schedule your birthday party, and as always, ask Ron about renting a bounce house for your party, corporate event, office party, or family reunion. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Planet Bounce Family Fun Center at the Monument Mall.
Caleb Walker on the kickoff this time. And Gering on the return. It's Brady Rudzimski running far side along the hash mark area and tackled it around the 15-yard line. We've seen some nice kick coverage from Scottsbluff so far tonight, Mike.
That was a really good job. Gering kind of went wide with that fake reverse on it, but our kids were down there and made good contact and got them shut down. Barely got to the 15-yard line, so that was a really good job on the coverage.
Up front right now defensively for Scottsbluff, Hort, Joe McLeod, and Garrett Nelson. Darnell, Delzer, Rohr, and Diolison at the linebacker spots. Busby, Reifschneider, Gary, and Paris Magdaleno at the corner positions. Cats again showing blitz. Handoff is going to be swallowed up. Jordan Hort just bear hugs the ball carrier that time and drops him for a loss of about 3 yards. It was Logan Murdoch with his first carry of the season, missed the first 4 games. And playing for the first time here tonight. And Hort just got himself a big meal for dinner right there, it looked like. 2nd and 13 now for the Bulldogs. They'll move 2 receivers out to the right, Ray, and the inside man is Shaneman. 2 receivers left as well. Lone back in the backfield. And now we've got a flag coming from the near side. Scottsbluff showed blitz. Someone might have jumped into the neutral zone or showing blitz. Might have forced that, an offsides penalty against Gering. And now that'll back them up to around 2nd and 18. And not what you want if you're Gering right now. And that's an unforced error. Something that pre-snap, just a discipline thing.
You got to worry about yourself. You can't worry about what those other guys are doing over there, jumping around, showing blitz. You know, you know your snap count. You got to be disciplined, wait for it, and just get up and block who you're supposed to block when that time comes.
Again, 2 receivers out to each side. Walker under center. Max Clausen snaps the football to Walker. Walker, a slant route behind Riley Shaneman, the intended receiver. He was the inside slot on a quick slant. And Walker threw it about 2 steps behind where Shaneman had already reached. 9:54 to play, and it's 3rd down and 18 now for Gering. Just the 1 completion on the night for Walker, and that went for minimal yardage, 1 yard. Walker went to the far sideline to get the play call from Coach Hyatt. Delivers it to his 10 offensive teammates, and Gering down to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 18, just under 10 minutes to play here in the first half. And now we're going to get a whistle and a timeout taken by Gering. That'll give us time to pull up the ScoreStream scoreboard on the KNEB Sports app. You can download it for your smartphone or tablet anytime if you haven't done so already. Get that accomplished. You can watch our KNEB.TV sportscast from the app. Listen to our sports broadcast, our radio calls there. Download the sports app in the Apple or Google Play Store, or go to KNEB.com under the sports tab. Check scores from around the area. Pine Bluffs with a 14-0 lead in Wyoming on Tongue River. A lot of these games have not updated. Hemingford in the first quarter up big on Kimball 24-6. Shadron leads at Sidney. That'll be Scottsbluff's opponent next week. Chadron leads at Sidney 7-0. York was up big on Beatrice. So we get set for this 3rd down and 18 play. For Gering, 2 backs, split backs in the backfield. Straight drop for Walker. Sidesteps the rush. Lobs one downfield. Pass is intercepted at the 40-yard line. And that's the first Bearcat interception of the season. And it goes to Cameron Geary with 9:47 to play in the second quarter. Geary comes up with the first Cats pick defensively this year.
Great position by Cameron, playing deep middle and didn't let the receiver get behind him. Came up and played the ball and did a nice job of picking it.
Walker throws the interception. Scottsbluff with great field position at the Gering 40, already with a 3-touchdown lead. Harsh at quarterback, Busby to his left. Now Reifschneider goes from right wing back to split wide left. They will fake the handoff to Busby. They will lob one. Reifschneider goes up. It goes right through his hands. Brady Rudzimski there on the coverage for Gering. Keegan excellent at getting up in the air and high pointing the football and just couldn't bring that one in.
Yeah, that was good coverage too, man. He had to go up right over that defender that time, and almost a spectacular catch, but defender did his job. Made him do something tough and wasn't able to quite make it happen.
Rudzimski, tough kid. 5'8", 165, a sophomore. Should wind up being a real solid high school football player. Hand off to Jacob Krull. Krull is hit by Logan Murdoch on first contact, and Krull picks up 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Under 9.5 minutes to play in this opening half tonight here at Bearcat Stadium. Scottsbluff 4-0, Gering 0-4. Opening district game for both these foes. 3rd and 6 for Scottsbluff. Ball inside the right hash mark. Double tight end set. Wing right is Krull. Hard count, and Gering's into the neutral zone. About 3 or 4 different defenders could not wait till the snap of the football to get moving.
We haven't seen a lot of the old hard count from the Bearcats this year, Chris, and it certainly worked that time.
Yeah, it seemed like last year almost to a game, and most of the time real early.
Yeah, you knew.
They've really kept it in the
coming,
back.
But yeah.
They've kept it in the back pocket this year.
Yeah. Maybe not showing it as much, so you can use it more late, maybe.
21-0. After the penalty, it's now 3rd down and short. Perfect spot here for a play-action pass. Instead, also a perfect spot to give it to Chris Busby. And Busby, 10-5, and touchdown. Once again, Chris Busby, like Harsh earlier untouched, Busby untouched from 31 yards out with 8:52 to play in the first half. Busby has his first TD of the night.
And gets over 100 yards.
Harsh with 2 touchdowns, Krull with 1, and now Busby from 31 yards out. And it's Caleb Walker on to kick the PAT. Walker blasts that one through, wind at his back, and it's 28-0 with 8:52 to play in the first half. It's all Scottsbluff.
Our roots are right here in this area. We're local. Many of us were born and raised in the communities that we serve. Because of that, we make our decisions right here at the bank. Some places have local branches. We have local roots.
First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Not that.
At Platte Valley Bank.
Chris Cottrell, Mike Holly, back with you here on KNEB.TV and 101.7 The Trail. Again, the fake reverse on the kickoff return, and all that sideways running just allowed Scottsbluff's kick coverage team to get down there and stop the return just across the 10-yard line. We've got a flag down around the 21-yard line. We'll wait for the signal on the penalty flag. Another one down at around the 10. We'll see if the same foul, or if we have multiple infractions on the play. Rough starting field position for Gering once again. Could turn into a bigger nightmare depending on the call. Illegal block in the back. And face mask called against Scottsbluff. So offsetting penalties, and looks like we're going to kick it again.
Yep.
Offsetting and replay the down. And that works out to Gering's advantage. The reverse and the fake reverse, a lot of sideways running, and that's caused Gering to, not get upfield on these returns.
Yeah, that's allowing the Bearcat coverage team to get down there the more sideways they go. So look for a change coming up here. They'll either give it to that, they fake the reverse each time, they're bound to give it pretty soon, or they're bound to change things up. I don't think they'll keep doing it.
That kick was caught by Radzimski down at the 1-yard line. We'll see where Caleb Walker can get this one to drop. He approaches the football, toe to leather. And it's going to be Radzimski. Pops off his shoulder pads, bounces into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Gering's going to pick up about 10 yards of field position after the offsetting penalties on the first kickoff try after the touchdown. So Gering will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20. Scottsbluff up by 4 touchdowns. All the starters still out there defensively right now. Shaneman, or check that Radzimski gets the play call from Coach Hyatt on the far side. Anthony Walker stays at quarterback. Brendan Williams exits far sideline. Ganos to the left. Inside receiver Radzimski. Right side slot, Shaneman. Ebers wide right. Now operating out of the shotgun, and that pass is caught by Shaneman. Tackle going to be made by Reifschneider. Ball comes loose. He was down. That ball came out after the tackle was made. Shaneman went to the ground. And that'll be a gain of 12.
First down of the night for the Bulldogs.
And that gets them into the positive as far as the total yards. They were in the negatives before that play. They pick up 12, and it's 1st and 10. First time we'd seen Gering in the shotgun, I believe, tonight. They'll stay in that set. Snap, quick toss, and it's Radzimski from the left slot with the reception. That'll be a gain of 9. Walker's hit back-to-back throws. It's 2nd down and 1 now for Gering. As they've got it out across their own 40 to the 42-yard line. In 2nd and 1, ball left hash mark. They are spreading the field, 2 receivers each side. Garrett W. Kahn in the backfield. Walker feels the pressure. Pass is defended that time by Paris Magdaleno. Flag flies from the secondary, and Mike Paris got there and arrived as soon as the ball did. That looked to be great coverage.
Well, the official that was right beside it evidently thought it was as well, Chris, because he didn't call it a penalty, but the deep official that was way back, maybe he saw something that nobody else saw. Not you, not me, not the other official, but I don't know. It looked like it was a really good play by Paris.
And we also got a roughing the passer call. I did not see who that was on.
Yeah, I did not see that, so that would have cost us anyway.
So multiple fouls against the Bearcats defense. Roughing the passer in the backfield. Magdaleno called for a pass interference on what looked to be excellent coverage on that pass play. 7:46 to play here in the first half. It's 28-0 Scottsbluff. And after the personal foul mark-off on the roughing the passer, Gering has it inside the Scottsbluff 45-yard line. 1st and 10 at the Cats 44. Ball left hash mark, 7:46 to play, quarter number 2. Two receivers each side. Josiah Diola showing blitz. A throw this time in and out of the hands of Colton Ebers. Magdaleno there defending from his cornerback spot. That'll make it 2nd down and 10 for Gering. They're definitely not hesitating to come out and throw the football tonight.
No, they're attacking with it. And
I like it.
Yeah, if you can find a way to execute, you loosen them up a little. You know, they haven't had any success running the ball, so, you know, I think they're -10 rushing right now at this point in time. So come out, try something different.
I think this is just Coach Hyatt saying we're trying to forge an identity for what we want to be as an offensive team and forget who we're playing or what the score might wind up being. We're going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great idea.
Oh, and it's adjusting. If they're taking away one thing, you can go to the other.
And again, pass over the middle. Connor McCracken with a tackle on the catch is Brady Radzimski. And it'll be 3rd down and 4 now for Gering, a pickup of 6. Walker to Radzimski. 3 completions on this drive right now for Gering. Or is it 4?
They've got 3 completions, Chris. He's 3 for 4 on this drive.
Clausen over the football. Ganos out to the left. They'll send trips now to the wide side. To the right. 7 minutes to play in the half. Shotgun snap back to Walker, and this one got away from him. Lost it high and over the middle. Luckily, no deep safety help that time, or that could have been real trouble for Anthony Walker and Gering. As it is, an incomplete pass and sets up 4th down and 4 now for Gering. Scottsbluff starting to cycle players in and out of the lineup. Evan Hegum came off, now coming back on quickly as they brought 4 off on that play. Only needed 3 coming off the field. Gering to the line of scrimmage. Trips out to the right. Walker with Kahn in the backfield. Receiver left is Ganos. Scottsbluff, only 1 player with a hand in the ground. Some late pressure and a catch made by Riley Shaneman. Cameron Geary on the stop. Garrett Nelson applied the pressure as Walker got the ball off. Shaneman made the catch. Line of scrimmage was the 38. Pickup of 15 as Walker connects with Riley Shaneman.
A nice catch by Shaneman. He was in traffic and he knew he was going to get hit as soon as he caught it, but he got his body twisted around, made a nice catch, and big 1st down.
6 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Good looking drive right now for Gering, helped out by a Scottsbluff personal foul, but 4 completions on the drive for Walker. Catch showing blitz. Walker, he's going to put one up. He's got Radzimski, had a step on the defender Harsh that time, and the ball falls incomplete down around the goal line. Aggressive play calling continues for Josh Hyatt and Gering. Walker to Radzimski, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Radzimski looks solid, catching the ball. Shaneman looks like a nice little receiver.
Yeah.
Got some guys doing some things.
Yep. And that's all you can ask. Come out and give her your all and make some plays. You never know what happens at the end with the score if you come out and play hard and make plays.
We've got a whistle before the snap and a timeout taken by Coach Hyatt and Gering. They want to get this drive right. Good stuff so far from the Bulldogs. It's 28-0. Chris Cottrell, Mike Holly will keep it right here. With halftime about 6.5 minutes away. Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit offers regularly scheduled accessible bus service serving communities between Alliance and Scottsbluff Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and 21 Panhandle communities on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Reservations are required. Visit panhandletrails.com or call 761-TRIP. 761-TRIP. Gering started this drive at their own 20-yard line. They've got it down just outside the red zone in Scottsbluff territory. 6:25 to play in the first half. Gering goes from sideline huddle right to the line of scrimmage. Trips right, receiver left is Ebers. Ebers with Jacob Krull defending on the corner spot. Again, trips left. Snap back to Walker. A throw over the middle, too tall for Ebers with Krull defending on the pass. It'll be now 3rd down and long for Gering. A lot of pressure. Big onus falls on this offensive line, Mike, for Gering. As much as they're throwing the football, you know Scottsbluff's going to pin their ears back, and
I'd be worried about 3rd and long coming up. You know, that if they can throw something quick, that'll be to their advantage.
They've really abandoned the running game completely here in this quarter. Straight drop, pass over the middle is tipped and intercepted by Sebastian Harsh. Harsh on his feet, 30. Cut back at the 35, tackled far side. And that pass was tipped along the line of scrimmage. I did not see whose paw made contact with the football, but an easy INT for Sebastian Harsh. And after going 4 games without an interception, Scottsbluff now has 2 here in the second quarter in week 5.
Yeah, that was well covered by the Bearcats. Got a lot of pressure up front with hands up, and I don't know if it was a D lineman or if a linebacker got a piece of it, but it got knocked up in the air and came down in Harsh's hands.
6'3", 215. He says 220 after he eats a big meal. 6:10 to play in quarter number 2. Double tight set. They fake the handoff to Diolis. It's Paris Magdaleno in at quarterback, and the backup signal caller with a nice designed quarterback run. A gain of 11, and that'll move the chains. Paris Magdaleno. Saw him play a lot of quarterback in the Carpenter Center years. He seemed to always be teamed up with Chris Busby on those teams, and they were a nice little dynamic duo.
That'd be a good teammate to be teamed up with, yeah. I bet they scored some points.
And it didn't take long.
Yep.
1st and 10 for the Cats, ball between the hash marks. They lead 28-0 with 5:50 to play here in the first half. Hand off Diolis. Diolis cut back run at midfield, tackled it around the Gering 46-yard line, maybe the 47. That'll be a gain of 8 for Diolis. Came in averaging 8 yards per carry. Check that, 7 yards a pop. Picked up 8 on that first down run. It's 2nd and short for Scottsbluff, ball right hash. Gering has definitely competed well here in this half. Hand off to Jacob Krull. Krull, second level. Krull, big burst. He's at the 30. Ankle tackle made by Riley Shaneman. Good effort play by the junior defensive back Shaneman. And Krull, boy, he gets to top speed in an absolute hurry. 46, the line of scrimmage when that ball was snapped. Takes it down to the 18. Pickup of 28 for Jacob Krull. Five minutes now left in the half. Magdaleno in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Paris wants to throw. And Jack Darnell, the intended target. Coverage on the play by Brady Radzimski. And Paris just missed Darnell. Got a step on Radzimski in the end zone. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Hey, we've talked about this numerous times. You never know when your number is going to be called, and if Paris is ever in a spot where he's got to play big minutes in a big game, he's probably going to have to throw the football at some point.
Yeah, he is.
In the shotgun, handoff to Diolis. Diolis runs right. He cuts back at the 10, still on his feet. Tackled down around the 5-yard line. And we've got a late flag now thrown at around the 7 or 8-yard line. Just based on the timing of that flag coming out. Might be some extracurricular, some unsportsmanlike stuff as that play was finishing up. That was a 13-yard carry for Diolis. About to get the signal. Scottsbluff leads 28-0. And it's unsportsmanlike. That'll go against the Gering Bulldogs. Should be half the distance to the goal, I would think, from the end of the run. .442 to play in the first half. Half the distance to the goal after the run, so the 13-yard carry for Josiah Diolis. Penalty winds up being about a 2.5-yard pickup for Scottsbluff. They've got it inside the Gering 3-yard line. Coming out of the game, a defender replaced at an outside linebacker spot. Magdaleno in the shotgun. Snap back to Paris, handoff to Diolis, runs right, stood up, stays on his feet, still fighting, and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. As defenders and linemen unpile off where that play finished up with Diolis, the ball carrier. They're going to mark it back just inside the 5. That's a loss of 2 for Josiah Diolis. 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Double tight end set, Cruel the wing to the right. Diolis to the left of Magdaleno, who's in at quarterback. Paris hands it off to Jacob Cruel. Cruel into the end zone with his second rushing touchdown of the night. This one covers 5 yards, and Jacob Cruel makes it 34-0 Scottsbluff with 3 minutes and 46 seconds to play in the first half. All 5 touchdowns tonight for Scottsbluff have come via the ground game. Caleb Walker tries to stay perfect. He's 4 for 4 on the PAT so far this evening. This one's up, and that splits the uprights. 3:46 to play in the opening half. It's 35-0 as Scottsbluff in complete control against their crosstown rivals here this evening. KNEB.TV and radio on 101.7 The Trail. For more than 125 years, Wells Fargo Advisors has created wealth management investment strategies aimed at achieving their clients' personal financial goals. You can call Kevin Figg and Ryan Windhorst at 632-7561. Wells Fargo Advisors, together will go far. I think Gering has played with real solid energy so far tonight, Mike. We've seen him on some earlier drives cause some problems at the line of scrimmage in the run game, but just the talent level right now is just not even a contest between these two programs. And what do you think of what you've seen from the Bearcats to this point?
I think the Bearcats are doing fine. You hope, if you do out talent somebody like this, and you want to do some mix around, it's good to see Diolis and Magdaleno in with a lot of the other ones, getting some quality reps. And, you just hope you stay healthy with all your guys on both teams getting through this thing. And you know, when it scores like this, you don't ever want to have anybody get hurt. But just keep doing what you do and try to execute and do a good job with what you're doing.
Jerry Escamilla's kick comes down. This time they do hand it off on the reverse, and again, the sideways action has accomplished nothing for Gering tonight. Cameron Geary down, helping out on the tackle. Also there, Caden Bradley on the kick coverage team. And
they smelled that coming, didn't they?
They sure did. Gering's going to have it worst starting field position of the night at their own 6-yard line. Just too much speed from this Scottsbluff team to be running sideways on kick returns if you're Gering. Tommy Ganos will split about as far wide as you can get at the left receiver spot. Handoff, inside give goes to Logan Murdoch, and Murdoch takes it out to around the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 33, a gain of 27, longest play of the night for Gering as Murdoch picks up 17 on the first down run.
Nice play, busted it right up the middle.
Seeing some substitutes now at times, although right now looking like the number 1 D unit for the Bearcats. Twins left, ball right hash. Inside give, Murdoch tackled on the play by Jeremiah Delzer. Over top helping out Jordan Hort, showing good sportsmanship, helping Murdoch back to his feet. Kyle Marsh is in along the offensive line, and again, Garrett Imcon was told before the game could be out for the season with a knee injury suffered at a Thursday walkthrough last night. Handoff again to Murdoch, nothing doing that time. Harsh on the tackle. And that'll be a loss of 1 for Murdoch and set up 3rd down and 9 with about 2.5 minutes to play in this half. Coming off the field, hobbling just a little bit is Terrence Mokiak to the near sideline. Starting nose tackle for this Bearcat defense. Brian Galindo in now at that spot. 3 receivers set, 2 to the right. 2 backs, 1 to each side of Walker, who's in the shotgun. Takes the snap, straight drop, lobs one, and that ball was misjudged a little bit by Keegan Reifschneider on where he thought he could catch it. Maybe another step further back, running with the receiver. He could have been in a good position, but basically winds up with 2 defenders there. Magdaleno on the initial coverage, Reifschneider the safety over the top, and pass incomplete, and it brings up 4th down and 9 now for Gering.
I can see why that was incomplete, Chris, with Garrett Nelson bearing down on you right up the middle. As soon as you throw it, Walker just got blasted. Yeah, if he saw that coming at all, yeah, he was probably just getting rid of it to try to save his life.
Walker now punts it across midfield, takes a right-hand turn out of bounds. It'll be Scottsbluff football at the Gering 43-yard line. It looks like Gering might have studied a little bit of that Sterling tape where they lined their quarterback up last week and then still let him take another 2-3 step drop out of the shotgun. And it looks like Gering's done the same thing a little bit when they've gone to the gun tonight to try and protect their quarterback.
Yeah, that helps slow him down a little bit if there's a threat there.
Tell you, Sterling, they came out and showed no fear last week offensively, did they?
No, they did not have any fear. They came right at us.
Minute 57 seconds left here in the first half. Bit breezy tonight here in western Nebraska. We were at 71 degrees at opening kickoff. Had some cooler daytime temps the last few days. Middle screen set up to Diolis, who's in the open field rumbling. Cut back at the Gering 40 and tackled at the 36-yard line. A pickup of 18 on the play. Check that. Pick up a 20 on the middle screen that time. Diolis was involved in the passing game, I want to say, well, more than a little bit a year ago, but that's not saying a lot with Scottsbluff with the amount of throws they make during an entire season. But got a feeling we'll see Diolis involved in the passing game at times moving through the rest of this year. He's got good hands, and when he gets that head of steam rolling, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Yeah, he is. He's a strong kid. If you let him get it going, he is tough to bring down.
5-yard penalty coming up against Scottsbluff. So they'll have it now 1st and 15. Line of scrimmage at the 41-yard line of Gering after the 5-yard mark on. Scottsbluff's already got the play call made, and they are coming to the line of scrimmage quickly. Minute and 37 seconds to play. Scottsbluff leads 35-0. Man in motion is Busby. They're going to hand it to Chris. Chris runs right. Good seal block on the outside made by Jacob Krull. And slipping inside a would-be tackler, Busby. And Chris is up in a hurry as they try to rush things to the line of scrimmage. He will wait for the official spot. They will put it at the 23-yard line. So a pickup of 18 for Busby on the jet sweep action that time. Clock continues to move. 1 minute and 15 seconds to play here in the half. Harsh, the starting quarterback, back in. He gave way to Magdaleno for a series. 2 receivers to the wide side. Krull to the right. Play action. They dump it. Delzer on the catch. Lowers his shoulder. He's inside the 10. Down to around the 8 or 9 yard line. Tackled by Quentin Janacek. Pickup of 13 on the catch and run for Jeremiah Delzer.
A little reward for Jeremiah coming back to him after that drop he had earlier. So good to get his confidence back.
Under a minute to play. Scottsbluff with it 1st and goal at the Gering 9-yard line. 35-0 Bearcats. Busby in motion, and now a timeout taken. No, a flag. No, flag flew, but a timeout for Scottsbluff before the yellow hanky. So the Cats will talk things over. 38 seconds to play here. And this is a great opportunity if you're Scottsbluff to work on a game situation, a 2-minute drill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, get that thing moved down the field and then finish. Get that thing in the end zone and do it within your time.
4th quarter, Class B scores around the state right now. York all over Beatrice, 51-14. York coming off 2 straight losses to McCook and Scott. Beatrice with their head coach now, Todd Eckert, winless. McCook blasting Lexington 48-6. Hastings all over Crete 38-10. And a barn burner in the 3rd quarter. A lot of points. Seward up on Northwest 33-31 at last check. Some scores from Class B. Here at Bearcat Stadium, 35-0. As expected, a Scottsbluff big margin at the moment. 2-minute drill, and the Bearcats have it down to the Gering 9-yard line. 38 seconds to play. It's 1st and goal. Harsh lifts the leg. That sends a man in motion. Harsh going to put it up in the air, and Reifschneider hauls it in with a one-handed grab. Thought that ball might get overthrown just based on the trajectory and where Reifschneider's route was at. But he extended that right arm, grabbed it, and brought it into his body. Beautiful looking catch for Reifschneider, and the Cats have their first TD pass of the night. Comes with 32 seconds left to play in the first half. Harsh to Reifschneider, covering 9 yards. And the PAT attempt, no good. It's 41-0. Scottsbluff will stay right here with 32 seconds to play in this first half. 41-0 the lead for the Bearcats. First 5 scores coming on the ground. And this final score, you would assume, of the first half with 32 seconds to play, is a 9-yard touchdown pass from Harsh to Keegan Reifschneider.
Quite a catch.
third TD catch of the season. It was.
I'm gonna give Keegan all the credit in the world for that catch, but I'm also gonna say, back in the olden days, those guys didn't have those nice gloves like they had there, and
the built-in stickum.
Yeah, I don't know, but no, we didn't have those nice gloves, and man, Keegan, he got his big paw out there, that one-handed deal, and he sucked that baby in. It was a heck of a catch, though. You still got to have hand-eye coordination to make a one-handed catch, whether you got gloves on or not, but that was a very nice catch.
41-0 after the Reifschneider TD grab. Scottsbluff up big here at home tonight. Jerry Escamilla will kick the football away. Schaineman and Rudzimski. No, that's Ganos and Rudzimski back deep. Line drive kick, bobbled, dropped by Rudzimski. Still on his feet, out across the 25. Tackle made by Caden Bradley. And also there was Caden Shoemaker. And Gering will have the football at their own 32-yard line with 26 seconds to play here in the half. Bearcat #1 unit back out defensively. Carson Melke on, replacing Garrett Nelson. So Garrett will get a little bit of a breather late. Caleb Walker on, replacing Jack Darnell. See what Gering elects to do here with 26 ticks left on the first half clock. Walker takes the shotgun snap, looks middle. That pass is high and caught by Brady Rudzimski out across midfield. Give him 18 to midfield, another 9, a pickup of 27. Check that, 25 yards on the completion. Walker to Brady Rudzimski. Clock running, 18 seconds to play. Snap, throwing it back over the middle. Dangerous pass. And Rudzimski got lit up by Sebastian Harsh. What do you think he likes more? Rushing a touchdown from about 50 or just drilling a receiver passing by?
Just knowing Sebastian, he kind of likes that physical contact.
Yeah.
Man. He was a heck of a wrestler early in his high school career, and you can see when he chasing down a quarterback or hitting somebody coming over the middle, he, I think, has a big old smile on his face.
Yeah, he's sniffing those things pretty hard.
I think he likes that, yeah.
13.
And I think at the next level, that's probably his ideal position.
Overthrown pass, intercepted by Keegan Reifschneider. Reifschneider wants it all. He's going to get it all. This is going to be about a 65-yard interception return for a touchdown. No flags on the field. 4 games, no interceptions for this Bearcat defense. 3 tonight in the first half. And Reifschneider, 65 yards on what's going to wind up being the final play of this first half. The INT touchdown return. That makes it 47-0. And we're going to have a backup to the backup kicker as Jacob Huck's going to come on for the PAT. We see Escamilla and Walker on the kickoffs. We see Walker and Huck on the PATs, and Huck boots one through. 48-0 as these teams head to the locker room at halftime. A dominant performance for Scottsbluff, a game effort from Gering. They're playing hard, no doubt about that, but the talent mismatch is just that wide at the moment. 48-0 the score at halftime. Scottsbluff up big at the...
Monument Mall has been a huge part of the commercial retail market that has served the Scottsbluff-Gering area for well over 2 decades. Many have the misconception that leasing or renting a retail commercial space at Monument Mall is not affordable. On the contrary, our retail spaces have never been more affordable than now. Often having several spaces to choose from for rental or lease options, we have kiosks and retail merchandising units available for your needs to help your business thrive. So don't hesitate. Feel free to give us a call. For more information, please contact Krista Pelster, our property manager, at 308-632-6000.
Last school year, 17 students were honored as the Platte Valley Company's Star Student of the Week. Kids from Scottsbluff, Gering, Bridgeport, Bayard, Mitchell, and Banner County received winning nominations, and with a new school year underway, it's once again time for the public to nominate deserving K-12 students to be the next Star Student of the Week. How do you get your nomination in? Just go to pvbank.com, fill out the nomination form, and watch KNEB.TV News every Friday during the school year to see if your Star Student was selected.
Compliments for you and your home has got the latest decor. Come in today and see what you can create. Start with great home decor from Uttermost. Lamps, chairs, and vases for any taste. Need a little light for a more intimate feeling? Flameware is a recharging LED light that simulates candle flames. Rootworks bowls are hand-carved, one-of-a-kind wooden bowls you can't find anywhere else. Finally, for a little accent, try these leather and Western-style pillows from High End. Compliments for you and your home. Downtown Scottsbluff.
Logos in Gering is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees, and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gering.
9 yards rushing at the half, Chris.
Chris Cottrell, Mike Holly with you tonight here on KNEB.TV and our radio broadcast on 101.7 The Trail. 48-0 is the score here at halftime as the Bearcats extend that lead on the final play of the first half on a Keegan Reichschneider interception return for a touchdown. Coming up here at the halftime session as the Bearcat Marching Band plays out on the game field right now. We'll take a look at the scoring recap. We'll pass along our halftime statistics for both these teams. We'll take a look at scores from around the state and the region as well via the KNEB Sports app on our ScoreStream scoreboard. Again, right now, 48-0. Scottsbluff led this thing 14-0 at the end of the first quarter and then piled it on 34 unanswered in quarter number 2. And that gets us to where we're at right now, 48-0 at halftime. Scottsbluff and Gering, another edition here of the crosstown rivalry. Gering last won this matchup in 2009. That means 8 straight wins in this rivalry series for Scottsbluff. Scottsbluff next week will be home to take on Sidney, and then they'll close out at Lexington, at Alliance, and then hosting McCook in what's shaping up to be an absolute heavyweight throwdown here in Week 9 to close out the regular season. Gering next week, they'll have back-to-back home games coming up against Lexington and Alliance, then they travel to McCook before hosting Chadron to wrap up their regular season. We'll check some of the scores, but Chadron had a first-half lead at Sidney tonight, 7-0. Chadron 1-3 coming in. Sidney entered at 3-1. Halftime score tonight here at Bearcat Stadium. It's all Scottsbluff over Gering, 48-0 on the West Coast scoreboard. Okay.
Being an Allo customer just got even better. 3 times better, in fact. We've tripled our standard internet speed from 100 to 300 megs at no additional cost to you. This isn't one of those limited time offers that will melt away either. 3 times the streaming, 3 times the gaming, 3 times the uploading, all for the same price. Why? Because we love our customers. Allo, no gimmicks, no limits, no kidding. And still no contracts.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gering, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gering at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
Bye, Mom. Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a deer.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Bearcat Stadium in Scottsbluff, where at the break it's a 48-0 lead for the homestanding Scottsbluff Bearcats as they get set to improve to 5-0 on the season. Hard to believe that when we wrap things up tonight, we'll be over the halfway point of the high school football regular season. Let's get a look at the scoring recap here in this one tonight. All Bearcats on the board. It started with 9:58 to play in the first. Jacob Krull, a 15-yard touchdown run. Caleb Walker's kick made it 7-0. Sebastian Harsh fumbled after Scottsbluff had forced their second Gering 3-and-out to open the game. After the Bearcats got the football back, Harsh with a 6-yard touchdown run. Kick made it 14-0. 14-0 the score at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, Scottsbluff scored 5 times. 11-14 to play. Harsh from 26 yards. 8:52, Busby from 31 yards. 3:46, Jacob Krull again from 5 yards out. 32 seconds left. Harsh to Reifschneider, a 9-yard touchdown pass. A tremendous catch in the left back corner of the end zone by Reifschneider. A one-handed grab, hauled it in. PAT was no good, 41-0. And then on the final play of the half, Gering just trying to make something happen. Reifschneider with a pick on an overthrown ball over the middle, and he took it back, I'm guesstimating 65 yards on the INT touchdown return for Keegan Reifschneider. Jacob Huck came on and booted the PAT, and that got us to our halftime score of 48-0. Take another timeout and come back and take a look at our halftime statistics for both these clubs tonight. We'll do
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Being an Allo customer just got even better. 3 times better, in fact. We've tripled our standard internet speed from 100 to 300 megs at no additional cost to you. This isn't one of those limited time offers that will melt away either. 3 times the streaming, 3 times the gaming, 3 times the uploading, all for the same price. Why? Because we love our customers. Allo, no gimmicks, no limits, no kidding, and still no contracts.
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged, fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form. And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience. Locate a dealer at biggreenegg.com.
Being an Allo customer just got even better. 3 times better, in fact. We've tripled our...
At Elite Physical Therapy,
101.7 The Trail here tonight. You can always access our high school broadcast on our podcast page on demand at kneb.com. Brought to you by First State Bank of Scottsbluff and Gering. Mike, giving away a trip to Hawaii down there, huh?
Yeah, they are giving a trip away. Our foundation, Ruth Kozal, board president and foundation member, her and her husband donated a trip to Hawaii, and I don't know, they made several $1,000s for the school with that raffle, and it sounded like Mike Moravec. It sounded like he was the winner, I believe. So we appreciate everybody participating. We appreciate the Kozals donating that, and that's exciting, man. A week in Hawaii at a nice place. That's
man, I've never
cool.
been. Have you been?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. I want to go.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get our minds off Hawaii where we want to go. Let's get to some halftime statistics here, and it's all Bearcats.
It is. Total yardage, Bearcats 328. Gering has 86. Big night rushing so far for the Bearcats. Busby leads the way with 9 carries, 121 yards. Sebastian Harsh, 5 carries, 64 yards. Jacob Krull, 5 carries, 58 yards. Josiah Diolis, 4 carries for 20. Paris Magdaleno had 1 carry, but for 11 yards. Garrett Nelson had 1 for 5. So Bearcats are chewing it up on the ground. Passing, Sebastian Harsh was 4 for 7 for 49 yards, and Magdaleno missed on his only attempt. Gering on the other side, they have, let's see here, they had 8 rushes for 18 yards, and then Walker was 6 for 19 passing, 68 yards, but he did have the 3 interceptions, so Gering ends up with 86 total yards on that. So very reflective of the scoreboard. Bearcats are dominating.
They are, and I thought Gering showed well as far as the effort and the intensity, and they stuck with the passing game rather than just pack it in and get out of here. They're trying to continue to work on their stuff. Walker really playing just his second game at quarterback this year. Yeah, the 3 picks, but he's taken some shots. He's hung in there, and he's made some throws and some nice grabs by Brady Radzimski and Riley Shaneman, 2 of his slot receivers working the middle of the field underneath. Halftime score here at Bearcat Stadium tonight, all Scottsbluff. It's 48-0. We're back right after this on
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E Series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Care Heilbrunn State Farm Agent is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbrunn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Why should you come out to Double O Country Store in Banner County? Because we serve locally raised beef, chicken, and bison, and our hamburger buns, cabbage burgers, and pies are homemade every day. Breakfast is served daily from 8 to 11, with all-you-can-eat pancakes on Saturday. Or join us Friday nights for Burger Fest. Choose from 6 specialty burgers or build your own. And for dessert, make sure you save room for one of our homemade milkshakes. We are worth the drive here at Double L Country Store on Highway 71, just 10 minutes south of the Wildcats.
Chris Cottrell, Mike Colley, and Mike, we've been talking about this part of tonight all week long at the station, whether it be on sportscasts or on my air shift from 10 to 2, and that's dollars for Drew. I got the email from Mr. Hawksworth early in the week. I gave him a call. We got the goods on what was going on tonight, and if you don't know, Drew Haley, a young man who plays for the Layton Banner County Co-op, a few weeks ago suffered a really tragic injury that wound up costing him an amputation of one of his legs from the knee down after a gruesome injury in a game against Morrill a few weeks back. And I mean, 1 minute you're walking the halls, getting ready to play a high school football game, and the next you're sitting in a hospital bed somewhere and you've lost part of your leg. Just some really tough stuff to mentally process. But one thing about the Panhandle is folks are coming together. You're seeing the buckets being passed right now, both sides of the bleachers here tonight, as I know both the fan bases, Scottsbluff and Gering, we're going to wind up with a real nice donation. 100% of the proceeds tonight going to go to Drew Haley and his family with medical and recovery needs, and just a great gesture by everybody here tonight.
It is. We live in a great community, and we're very heartbroken for Drew and his family, and wish him nothing but the best going forward. It's a really tough situation, and this isn't going to change any of that, but every little bit helps through a medical emergency, and couldn't live in a better place than a place that looks out for their other people in the area. So that's Western Nebraska for you.
Yeah, I know it was, I asked Mr. Hawksworth how this all started, and he said, look, a couple of our football players who are involved with FCA, Connor McCracken and Cameron Gary, they just flat came to Mr. Hawksworth on their own and said, we need to do something. And he said he was in an event recently in North Platte where they collected change in the stands. He kind of took a little idea from that. And, boy, I can't imagine the type of money that's going to be passed around and donated to the Haley family. And you're right, it's not going to change anything. But when you can take a little bit of a worry away as far as medical-wise with dollar bills, you know, the less stress on a family, the better in a situation like that.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And every little bit will help. And I think they will appreciate the gesture by the community as well. So.
And I know they were going to do the same thing. They did it last night when Gering and Sydney played volleyball at Kimball. They had a cake raffle, and they accepted free will donations. And then the football game tonight at Kimball, their home game against Hemingford, they were going to do the same thing and collect some money. And my buddy Mike Sauter with the Omaha World Herald checked in with me today and said Stoop Hospital is going to have a big write-up on Drew in tomorrow morning's paper. So the word is out, and boy, just knowing the state like we do, I can't imagine some of the things that are going to take place for the family in a tough time.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on right now. Here as they're passing the buckets around, dollars for Drew, with funds being raised for the Haley family there in the Dalton Gurley area. We're just about ready for the start of this second half, and I think you nailed it at one point in that second quarter, Mike, when you said getting out of here healthy for both these teams now here in the second half going to be key. Gering just trying to stay with it. They played hard tonight, no doubt about that.
Yeah, they brought some effort. That's good to see.
Definitely enjoy seeing that from Josh Hyatt's team, and they could have a few winnable games left on the schedule if they're able to continue to play hard and just improve with some of these schemes offensively.
That's one thing, you don't get to control your opponent and their talent level, but you do get to control your own effort. And Gering has brought a good effort tonight, and I haven't seen a lot of their previous games, so I'm hopeful for Coach Hyatt and his staff that they're going to see great effort by their kids and continued work toward improvement. You may not see the results every time when you got a good, talented Bearcat team like this you're going against, but that's all you can ask.
Kevin Price down on the kick coverage team, helping out on the tackle of Brady Rudzimski. Gering will have the football just across their own 20-yard line. We will have a running clock here in the second half. Scottsbluff will start this third quarter with what looks to be all starters defensively. And it gets tough. I mean, one thing's for sure, Joe Benson and his staff will absolutely not run the score up on anybody, but you got to play your kids a little bit, and then when the backups get in, they're going to play hard as well.
Yeah, some teams' backups are pretty talented too.
Radzimski slips a tackle and then runs over a defender. That was Harris Magdaleno on the receiving end of that blow delivered by Brady Radzimski. Walker to Radzimski, picks up 5 on first down. Walker hobbling a little bit, coming back into the offensive huddle for the Bulldogs. Tommy Ganos will come out to the right. Lone receiver that side. Trips to the left. Now 2 receivers right, empty backfield. A pass out to Riley Shaneman. That'll be good enough for a first down. Tackled far side by Jacob Krull. That takes the football out to the 34-yard line, a gain of 8, and that'll move the chains. Gering has committed to the passing game here tonight. No doubt about that.
And they've been effective with it. That was a nice job, good call, and a nice quick pattern. Didn't give the quarterback time to take a big shot that time, and got it out of his hand quick and still got some positive yards.
Delzer shows blitz. They run a little twist, ball loose, and we'll see who. We'll have to check the stats come Monday when Coach Mangini sends them out, but you had Mokiak and Nelson there. Diolis was the first to arrive. Kind of overshot the quarterback as he went down to jump on that loose football. It'll be a loss of 7. Make it 6. It'll be second down and 16. Ball back inside the Gering 30-yard line. 9 minutes and 47 seconds to play in the third quarter. All Scottsbluff here tonight. They led 14-0 at the end of 1, and then 34 more big points in the second quarter. It's 48-0 here, early second half. Another poor snap. Walker tracks it down. A lob ball that's going to come out to Colton Ebers, who adjusts back to the ball around midfield and hauls it in at the Scottsbluff 49-yard line. A pickup of 23. Good job by Walker to salvage the play and not only make sure they kept the football, but pick it up and make something positive happen.
Yeah, that was a great job by Ebers of coming back to it. Looked like our defender didn't see kind of what was happening there. As got there a little bit later than Ebers.
That was Magdaleno on the coverage. Colton Ebers, the 6'1", 175-pound junior, had been the starting quarterback for the first few weeks this year. Walker now at the QB spot tonight as Ebers moved to wide receiver. Flat route, Diolis going to tackle Brady Radzimski behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 1. I'll tell you, Josiah Diolis has had a great year defensively. I know everybody thinking about the running back position for Diolis in his high school career, but Mike coming into play tonight, 13 total tackles, 8 solos, 3 behind the line of scrimmage. He had a sack, and he always does a great job in flat coverage from his linebacker spot.
He's very good in coverage, and he does a nice job against the run as well, so he's doing a really good job as a linebacker for us.
Nearly 4 minutes off this third quarter clock, coming up on the 8-minute mark. Second down and 12. Diolis shows blitz. He comes off the right side. They roll Walker the other direction. Tight spiral on that pass, but he overshoots the intended receiver, Tommy Ganos. And that ball falls down around the feet of Scottsbluff assistant coach Mark Moran. 7:40 as that clock will continue to run. And I think a running clock really sets Gering up well to continue to do what they want, rather than have a clock that stops and next thing you know, as a staff, you look around and you say, we just need to get out of here. Right now, the clock's going to keep running. You have no worries about it stopping on incomplete passes. They're just going to fire away.
Yeah.
Kahn to the left of Walker. 2 receivers each side. Wide side to the right. Ball left hash. Catch creeping up near the line of scrimmage. Darnell comes off the left side. That ball overthrown. We're going to have a flag thrown by the near side official here on the Scottsbluff sideline. Walker took another shot. Now we've got a late flag thrown in the offensive backfield. As the flag was thrown, the official was looking right at Josh Hyatt, who I think was frustrated about maybe some contact on his quarterback. There's definitely multiple fouls, it looks like, on this play. I did not see anything in the offensive backfield after the pass was released, so we're going to have to check and let the stripes sort this one out. .7:01 to play here in the third. It's 48-0. Clock stops as the officials, so we had a false start called against Gering, and then a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct goes against Gering. And again, not to speculate any further than what I saw, the official looking directly at Josh Hyatt with a long stare as the flag was thrown after that play. So it is going to be third down and really, really long right now for Gering. Line to make is the Scottsbluff 39. They will snap the football from their own 34. About third down and 26 or 7. Snap to Walker. Heat from Darnell. Got Ebers, and the pass is incomplete. Magdaleno on the coverage. Like Ebers slowed up, and he just stayed at a full-on sprint. Might have been able to reach that ball. It was almost like he was trying to induce a pass interference call. Either way, pass incomplete. And it'll be fourth down and time to punt the football for Walker and the Bulldogs. 6 minutes and 23 seconds left in the third quarter. Running clock stays in effect here in the second half. Walker's punt and some contact. We're going to have a flag as they hit Walker, the kicker. Ball sailed out of bounds, Gering sideline. Down to 6:11 to play. Shadron and Sidney tied at 14 at last check in the third quarter. It looks like running into the kicker. Other scores. Hemingford up big on Kimball, 30-14. Garden County up 30-0 on Layton Banner County. So it'll be a first down for the Bulldogs after the running into the kicker penalty. Other games tonight that we do not have scores posted for yet. Mitchell at Ogallala, both teams 3-1. Alliance in action as well tonight. They play at Chase County. So after the penalty, football moves just across midfield. Over halfway through the third quarter already. 1st and 10 after the running into the kicker penalty assessed against Scottsbluff. Walker and Garrett Nelson just blew up the offensive line and destroyed Garrett W. Kahn in the offensive backfield. He pretty much went 1-on-4 and won the battle.
Yeah, he did. You can see why he's going to be a D1 football player after that play. He came through and smacked him.
He just wrecked the entire play himself, is what Garrett Nelson just did on that first down. Handoff to Garrett W. Kahn, who's been virtually non-existent here tonight with Gering going full bore to the passing game. Kahn in the backfield, 4 receivers in the formation, 3 to the right. They're going to run a little stretch zone play to the near side. Kahn with a tough run, and he'll be tackled shy of the Scottsbluff 45-yard line. Cameron Gary with the tackle. Got it back across the original line of scrimmage, picked up 8. Garrett W. Kahn. Garrett M. Kahn, a starting lineman, both sides of the football, injured at practice yesterday for Gering. Was told beforehand it could wind up being a season ender. And a brutal type injury to have happen on a Thursday walkthrough. Trips left to the wide side. Ganos to the right. Walker in the gun. Looks left. Comes back middle. Pass intercepted by Luke Rohr. Rohr, smooth sailing far side. 20, 10, 5. Dragged out of bounds. A nice hustle play by Garrett W. Kahn as Rohr comes up 4 yards shy of the goal line. A big INT. The Cats have their 4th interception here tonight. And Walker, with heat bearing down on him, threw over the middle, and Luke Rohr is just right to him. Looks like we might see one drive here for the starting offensive unit for Scottsbluff. Wing right, Busby to the left of Harsh. Handoff goes to Chris Busby. Busby fights, stays on his feet, legs churning, and he winds up in the end zone for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. A 4-yard touchdown for Chris Busby with 3:21 to play in the quarter. He's up to 9 touchdown runs on the season. Caleb Walker on for the PAT. Hill holds. Walker's kick is up and good. And with 3:21 to play, it's Scottsbluff leading Gering.
95% of American corn farms are family-owned.
Farmers grow 70% more corn per ounce of fertilizer than just 35 years ago.
The energy to grow a bushel of corn has dropped by 37% over the past 30 years.
Farmers have cut soil erosion by 44% through new tillage methods.
This is sustaining innovation, and it's how Nebraska corn farmers are growing more with less. On the web at nebraskacorn.org.
There's nothing more important than the roof over your head. And when it comes to shingles, ZM Lumber has one of the largest inventories you'll find anywhere. At ZM Lumber, they love Malarkey, Malarkey Legacy, and Highlander architectural shingles. You know, you can actually save money on homeowners insurance when you use the Malarkey Legacy Class 4 UL 2218 shingles, where quality and value still count. ZM Lumber and Home Center, your lumber one since 1971.
55-0, Scottsbluff on top of Gering. Kick bobbled for a moment by Brady Rudzimski. He brings it back across the 15, lowers his shoulder and tackled it around the 21 yard line for Gering High. Caleb Walker with another kickoff for the Bearcats. They'll mark it at the 22 yard line, so Gering will have it 1st and 10 from the right hash. Clock running now at 2 minutes and 50 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. 14-0 at the end of 1, 48-0 at halftime. And now the touchdown after the interception by Luke Rohr, their 4th of the night. Walker hands it off to Garrett W. Kahn, hurdles one defender, still on his feet, across the 30, hard running out across the 31 and 2 yard line. That'll be a 1st down, a gain of 11 for Garrett W. Kahn.
It was a nice hard run by Kahn that time, and did a lot of that on his own.
Now seeing a full onslaught of backups defensively here. Kevin Price, Connor McCracken, Brett Hill in the secondary, along with Caden Bradley. Linebackers, Caden Shoemaker, some others into the backfield. Ball is loose, and that'll be the 5th turnover of the night committed by Gering. On the initial hit was Caden Shoemaker, who forced the fumble, and the Bearcats pick up the loose ball at the 30-yard line. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the Gering 30. As things now going to start to get a little interesting to just watch and see how this thing unfolds. We're going to start to see plenty of backups for Scottsbluff that work hard throughout the week and want to play hard here tonight. We start to see some backups for Gering. This is where the running clock, this is what it was meant for. Fake the handoff, it's Hill. Brett Hill, the quarterback, a 5'11", 150-pound sophomore. Fake the give to Evan Hegum, kept it himself for a gain of 1 for Brett Hill. Under 50 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Hill operates out of that traditional look for Scottsbluff. Double tight set, wing right. They're going to hand it off to Caleb Walker. Walker comes near side. He will stay in bounds, tackled inside the 25-yard line at around the 23. Pickup of 6 for Caleb Walker. See if that was the final snap of the 3rd quarter. Hill inches up, they look at the sideline, and offensive coordinator Judd Hall will let the clock run out here in the 3rd quarter. We've got 12 more minutes of game action for you here tonight at Bearcat Stadium. The 4th quarter's next. It's 55-0 Scottsbluff.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
This is Jane. She thinks she's just filling her car, but she's also filling the air with cancer-causing toxic chemicals used to boost octane in gas. What doesn't burn in the engine enters the air and your lungs, even your heart and brain. Bad for everyone, especially kids. Ethanol is a natural octane booster, clean burning and non-toxic. More ethanol means less scary stuff in our gas and in the air we breathe. And that makes your choice pretty plain, Jane.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com.
Start of the 4th quarter tonight on KNEB.TV and 101.7 The Trail. Backups on for Scottsbluff. That's Evan Hegum. Big bruiser, 205-pound sophomore. Looks like they're going to mark the ball just shy of the 20, and it'll set up. It was a 2-yard carry for Hegum. It'll be 4th down and call it 1, but it's going to be not the length of a football as all the Cats need here to move the chains. 30 seconds into this 4th quarter, a running clock throughout here in the 2nd half tonight. 55-0. Scottsbluff leads Gering. And Scottsbluff will not snap it until the last possible moment. Hill hands to Hegum. Hegum runs right to the 2nd level. Hegum 10-5, touchdown for sophomore Evan Hegum, a 21-yard touchdown run with 11:06 to play in the game. And Mike, that's the case of a backup getting his turn at bat here on a Friday night, and if people don't want to tackle him, he's heading to the end zone.
He is taking it to the house, yes, and he hit the hole hard right up the middle and found a good opening.
Huck on, and flags fly. That sailed wide left, but it looks like offsides on 2 or 3 kids on the right side of that defensive line for Gering. That's the call.
They were in there a little bit early, weren't they?
Glad nobody hit the kicker.
Yeah.
As the Gering kids pulled up. 11:06 to play. They'll get half the distance to the goal.
Northwest looks like they're in a battle there at the end of the game.
Yeah, 37 seconds left. Northwest leading Seward 44-40. That kick is good for Huck with 11:06 to play. It's 62-0 Scottsbluff.
Our roots are right here in this area. We're local. Many of us were born and raised in the communities that we serve. Because of that, we make our decisions right here at the bank. Some places have local branches. We have local roots. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Monument Mall has been a huge part of the commercial retail market that has served the Scottsbluff Gering area for well over 2 decades. Many have the misconception that leasing or renting a retail commercial space at Monument Mall is not affordable. On the contrary, our retail spaces have never been more affordable than now. Often having several spaces to choose from for rental or lease options, we have kiosks and retail merchandising units available for your needs to help your business thrive. So don't hesitate. Feel free to give us a call. For more information, please contact Krista Pelster, our property manager, at 308-632-6000.
We've reached the point in the game where Sebastian Harsh is kicking the football off for Scottsbluff. Returned by Riley Shaneman. Good effort, good tackle by Caleb Walker. Did not kick off this time around. Instead, just hustling down, covering the kick, and comes up with a solo tackle on Riley Shaneman. A couple of juniors locking horns there, Shaneman and Caleb Walker. Walker can play everywhere, can he?
Oh, he is a versatile kid.
He'll just put his head down and do whatever's asked of him.
Yeah.
$10 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. It's 62-0 Scottsbluff. Walker stays at quarterback. They're going to give it off on the fly sweep to Brady Radzimski. Radzimski into the secondary. Radzimski cuts back at the 40, still on his feet and tackled shy of midfield at around the 48-yard line. Give Brady Radzimski on the jet sweep to the slot man. That time 32 yards on the carry. Longest rushing play of the night. Longest play of the night, I do believe, for Gering. They'll have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield. Kevin Price at a right cornerback spot. You've got a Hazel Mendoza in at an inside linebacker spot right now as some of the substitutes continue to come on. Walker slant route behind his intended target, but adjusting to make the catch was Colton Ebers. That's a gain of 9. Walker to Ebers picks up 9 for Gering. Kids like Ebers, Shaneman, and Radzimski, they've got a decent little receiving crew right now, does Gering. Ganos as well. Out here to the left with Price covering. Walker barks out the snap count, gets the snap. Looks right, he's going to heave one down the right side. Intended target is Evers, touchdown pass. No, he dropped it. They're going to give it to him. Across the goal line, catch is made by Colton Evers. That is a 52-yard touchdown pass as Walker hooks up with Colton Ebers with 8:55 to play, and a feel-good moment for the Gering kids and something they hope to build on as they move along this season. Walker, Ebers covering 52 yards, and now Destiny Mueller on to attempt the PAT. Snap is back, Mueller's kick is up, and she misses wide left. Gering on the board, though, with 8:55 to play in the game. It's 62-6 Scottsbluff.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
When it's all said and done tonight, Anthony Walker and some of these receivers will have been able to post some decent numbers against Scottsbluff. Scoreboard-wise, though, no contest. All Cats is Jacob Krull. Looked a little out of sorts trying to pick that loose football up, and now he's on the run upfield across the 35, tackled shy of the 40, 62-6. Scottsbluff dominating here at home tonight, as we all expected against crosstown rival Gering. Really hard to believe, still just the 2 wins for Gering. 2 wins since September 27th of 2013. That is just hard to believe. 8 minutes and 15 seconds to play, clock moving. Scottsbluff with Brett Hill in at quarterback, Evan Hegum the halfback. Late arrival onto the field for the Gering defensive unit that time. Coming on late was Malachi Jensen, as Hegum carries the football for a yard gain, shy of the 40 to the 39. That'll make it 2nd down and 9. Under 7 minutes and 50 seconds to play in this one tonight. 5 a.m. start here. They're on 960 100.3 KNEB tomorrow morning for Husker football pregame. Kickoff at 10. 94-1 the Brand will have pregame starting at 9:15. Scottsbluff will milk the play clock down, burn some game clock here before they snap it. Everybody set, snap back to Hill, bobbled, handoff goes to Caleb Walker. Slips one defender, stays on his feet across the 40, tackled down at around the 43-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 3 for Caleb Walker. We'll be under 7 minutes to play by the time we see the next snap in this game. Tommy Ganos coming on at corner, replacing Riley Shaneman. Tanner Ray out there. Also at an inside linebacker spot is Jared Baltazar. Quentin Janacek in at safety. Third and 5 as the Cats snap it. Handoff goes to Walker. Tanner Ray in on the stop. Maybe a gain of 1 is all for Walker, and that'll make it 4th down and 4 for the Scottsbluff Bearcats. They will be 5-0 here in a few minutes. Gering will drop to 0-5. Gary's going to come on to punt the football away. So far on the season for Cameron Gary, punting 37.8 yards per punt average. He scans the field, make sure they've got 11, and they had 12 coming out of the huddle. Nick Mogg tried to slip off without being noticed. Problem is, Nick's 6'2", 200 pounds. Easy to catch him.
Yeah, he's noticeable.
So that'll cost Scottsbluff 5. They'll punt it now from inside their own 40-yard line. Line of scrimmage at the 39. Over halfway through this 4th quarter. Snap to Gary, and the punt's away. A little short. That's going to bounce at the Gering 40. Take a little bit of a Bearcat roll to around the 36-yard line. 25-yard net on that kick, so that's going to bring the average down a little bit for Cameron Gary. Backups aplenty on defensively now for the Scottsbluff Bearcats. And plenty of backups as well now, it would appear, for the Bulldogs. Jared Baltazar looks like he'll take over at quarterback. Baltazar operate out of the shotgun. Trips to the right, single receiver to the near side.
I think we only have 10 guys out there, Chris.
And Gering helps the cause by jumping, moving early from the slot.
We do have 11. I'm sorry. I didn't see our corner over there. We got 11. That's good.
.452 to play in this one. At corner far side is Alex Galindo. Easy to miss, Mike, 5'7", 140.
Kind of blends in with the track over there on that far side. That track's red, and Bearcats are in all red tonight.
Baltazar on the quarterback keep, right side out of the shotgun set. Line of scrimmage was the 30. He might have got it back to the original line of scrimmage at the 35. Jared Baltazar picks up 5 on that first down run. Brett Hill comes off to the near side. In defensively now is Isaiah Mendoza at a safety position. Spencer Schaff on as well. .405 to play in the fourth quarter. And the halfback right side moved early, and Donovan De Los Santos, and he was also the slot receiver that had the false start penalty. So 2 penalties on this drive already on De Los Santos, and they'll move it back again, setting up a second down and 15 situation, closer to 16, looking at the yard marker far side. Under 4 minutes to play in the game. Baltazar with 2 backs, 1 to each side. Design quarterback keep and a tackle in the backfield. That'll be a tackle for a loss for Caleb Walker. Again, showing his versatility. He can play running back. He can play outside backer, hustling down on special teams to make tackles all the time. And, of course, kicking off and field goals and extra points. Caleb Walker, one of the more versatile kids for Joe Benson and this Bearcat coaching staff. Baltazar hustling back in, a little hobbled off the sideline after that last tackle. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play. Love to run the post-game show for you coming up after the final whistle here tonight. Baltazar takes the snap. Flushed out of the pocket. Left. Throws a wobbler up near around midfield, and that one sails out of bounds. Coverage by Spencer Schaff from the safety position. Coming over along the near sideline. Down to 2 minutes and 35 seconds to play in regulation. All Scottsbluff tonight is expected. Big fourth down, long fourth down I should say. 4th and 23 here for the Bulldogs. Walker's punt. A little bit of a knuckleball across midfield, and Gering's going to let it bounce, and they'll down the football at the Scottsbluff 35-yard line. It'll be Bearcats with it, 1st and 10. With what could be the final offensive drive of the night. Looks like that'll be the way things finish up here. Clock continuing to run. We're under 1 minute and 45 seconds to play. Scottsbluff home to take on Sidney next week. Sidney was trailing at last check at home tonight against Shadron. It was 22-14 a little while ago. It was about 20 minutes ago, late third quarter. Timeout on the field. We'll break as well. Minute and a half, basically, 1:27.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, And even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Scottsbluff Spread Hill hands the ball off to Alex Galindo, who runs it across the Scottsbluff 40. And 1st and 10 running play picks up 8 for Galindo, brings up a 2nd down and short. We'll go under a minute to play before this next snap. Scottsbluff home for Sydney, mentioned that. Gering will be home for Lexington next week. Second down and 8. Clock continues to run. 47 seconds to play here in the 4th quarter. Hill milks the clock. That was a definitely tell some backups in the game. The right side of that offensive line was bowed back about a yard or 2 off the line of scrimmage. Under 30 seconds to play. That should be the final snap of the game tonight, as Scottsbluff's going to win it big. Also a final in as Alliance beats Chase County tonight 28-0, and the Alliance High Bulldogs now 3-2 on the year. Final 10 seconds. Rolling off the clock right now, 2-1, and Scottsbluff is 5-0. A 62-6 victory here tonight at home over Gering. 62-6 the final. We'll get to our Runs of Postgame show.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Buyers Realty has been helping people in the community find their dream home since 1994. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, our friendly staff will put in the work to help you reach the finish line. We also do property management for buildings in Scottsbluff, Gering, and beyond. You can find an extensive list of our properties by visiting our website at callbuyersrealty.com. Or you can visit our Scottsbluff offices on Avenue B, right next to Bumper to Bumper. Panhandle's best, Buyers Realty. Community strong, community proud, we have what you're looking for.
Our roots are right here in this area. We're local. Many of us were born and raised in the communities that we serve. Because of that, we make our decisions right here at the bank. Some places have local branches. We have local roots.
First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Bye, Mom. Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Mobius 1500 and our radio broadcast on 101.7 The Trail and KNEB.com. It's all Bearcats on their home field. They win it tonight big over Gering by the final of 62-6. Let's take a look at the scoring recap as we start the Runs post-game show. Lots to cover as far as the points tonight. First quarter, 2 scores for the Cats. Jacob Krull, a 15-yard touchdown run. Sebastian Harsh, a 6-yard TD run. Kicked good both times, 14-0. Scottsbluff poured it on with 34 points in the second quarter. Harsh, a 26-yard QB keep. Busby scored from 31 yards out. Krull, a 5-yard TD run. And then with under a minute to play, 32 seconds left, Harsh hit Keegan Reifschneider on a 9-yard touchdown catch. A great one-handed grab by Reifschneider. And then on the final play of the half, Gering throws over the middle high. Reifschneider there waiting on the INT, and he wanted a 6er out of it. He got it, a 65-yard interception return for a touchdown. The kick was good, and at halftime it was 48-0. That gave us the running clock throughout the second half. Third quarter, 3:21 to play. Chris Busby, a 4-yard touchdown run. Evan Hegum scored early fourth, a 21-yard TD run. That made it 62-0 with a couple of more PATs in those on those second half touchdowns. And then the feel-good play for Gering with 8:55 to play in the game. Anthony Walker connected with Colton Evers on a 52-yard touchdown pass as Gering got their lone score of the night. 62-6 the final. We'll have some final numbers and some post-game coaches' comments coming up when we come back.
95% of American corn farms are family-owned.
Farmers grow 70% more corn per ounce of fertilizer than just 35 years ago.
The energy to grow a bushel of corn has dropped by 37% over the past 30 years.
Farmers have cut soil erosion by 44% through new tillage methods.
This is sustaining innovation, and it's how Nebraska corn farmers are growing more with less. On the web at nebraskacorn.org.
The growth and prosperity of our community is dependent on the reinvestment of local dollars into our local economy. When you open a high-interest savings account at Platte Valley Bank, we turn around and loan your money back to our community for new construction, business expansion, home loans, in backing agriculture, and much more. Come save with us at Platte Valley Bank and know that you are doing business with a local bank with local decisions that reinvests your money here in our community.
Chris Cottrell, Mike Holly with you here on KNEB.TV and 101.7 The Trail. We get set now for some post-game coaches' comments with Scottsbluff offensive coordinator Judd Hall. And Coach, one of those type of work weeks and game nights where you just kind of wanted to take care of your business, worry about yourself, and get the job done, and you guys did exactly that.
Yeah, we preached all week. We wanted to get better as a team this week. Whatever we needed to do to execute for ourselves, and do things that are going to help us down the road. That's what we wanted to focus on this week.
Obviously, last week, maybe not getting off the bus as well as you wanted to. Did you like the way the team came out and played in the opening quarter tonight?
Absolutely. I think we needed to do we did what we had to do to get off to a quick start. Didn't want to allow a team in a game like this. It's that way every year. You don't want to allow a team to get off to a good start and allow them to be in the game. You want to take control. And I think we did that tonight.
Got a lot of kids, a lot of playing time tonight because you just never know when someone's going to have their number called. So when you get a lot of those backups, some key minutes like you did tonight, that helps out down the road.
Absolutely. It allows you to rest some guys that might have been, a little banged up from a nice, tough stretch that we had before coming into tonight's game. But allowed them to get some work, and then we also developed some depth tonight as well.
Hard to believe we're already halfway through the regular season, 5 weeks now in the books, and we're starting to hit the home stretch where teams start to, separate themselves, and the really great teams find a way to get better, eliminate some of those early season mistakes, and you want to be playing your best now these final 4 weeks.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what it takes. You want to find something to improve upon every week and make yourself better, because you never know when you're going to need something that you have an opportunity to work on as you get further down into the season, into our district season especially.
Yeah, one thing, the defense hadn't come up as dominant as they've been. A lot of weeks not playing a ton of snaps to get those turnovers, but 4 interceptions tonight. And if you get any sort of stuff like that moving forward to get your offense back on the field quickly, that could be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, those guys were in the they took coaching, found themselves to be in the right spots, and then made a play when the opportunity presented itself. So that was nice to see that we had guys going to the right zones, right drops, reading the quarterback, and then making a play. So that's good to see as we move forward, because Sydney's doing some different stuff, throwing the ball a little bit more next week. The week after that, we go to Lexington, they're throwing the ball. Alliance after that, they're throwing the ball, and then we finish with McCook, who's pretty balanced. So it's nice to see our defense coming together and being able to stop the run and now defend the pass as well.
Shadron had a 2-point lead at Sydney, about 9 minutes left in that game last I checked. Alliance with a road win tonight, shut out Chase County, I believe. I believe it was a finalist shutout, so Alliance now over 500 at 3-2. Offensive coordinator Judd Hall, as always, thanks for stopping up for a few post-game coaches' comments. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, appreciate it, guys.
You bet. Final score once again here tonight. Scottsbluff wins it going away 62-6. We're coming back with more on the Runs of Post-Game show right after this on KNEB.
Bye, Mom.
Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com. Buyers Realty has been helping people in the community find their dream home since 1994. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, our friendly staff will put in the work to help you reach the finish line. We also do property management for buildings in Scottsbluff, Gering, and beyond. You can find an extensive list of our properties by visiting our website at callbuyersrealty.com. Or you can visit our Scottsbluff offices on Avenue B, right next to Bumper to Bumper. Panhandle's best, Buyers Realty. Community strong, community proud, we have what you're looking for.
Chris Cottrell, Mike Holly, back with you tonight here on the Runs of Post-Game show. We've given the scoring recap. I'll turn things over to Mike with a look at our final numbers tonight, brought to you by Arby's, the meat crafters throughout western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming. Our post-game stats brought to you by Arby's.
Bearcats had 35 rushes for 332 yards. Leading the way there was Chris Busby, 10 carries for 125. Sebastian Harsh had 5 carries for 64. Cruel had 5 for 58. Diolas had 4 for 20. Caleb Walker ended up carrying 3 times for 10 yards. Evan Hagum had the 3 carries for 24 yards in that 21-yard touchdown run. Other than that, a lot of guys had a carry or two here or there for a yard or two. So Bearcats ended up 35 carries, 332 yards. Passing, that pretty much stayed the same as it was at the half. Harsh was 4 for 8 for 49 yards, and then Magdaleno was 0 for his only attempt. Receiving for the Bearcats, Reifschneider had 2 for 16, including the touchdown, and Delzer had 1 for 13, and Diolas had 1 for 20. On Gering's side, rushing, they ended up 16 carries for 56 yards. Garrett Wcon was 5 carries for 15. Anthony Walker ended up with minus 15 due to the couple sacks that we had on him. And Logan Murdoch was 4 for 25. Brady Radzimski was 1 for 32. And Balthazar lost 1 yard on 2 carries because of that 1 sack. So they ended up again 16 for 56 yards. Walker had a nice night throwing the ball. Really, he ended up 12 out of 29 for 164 yards. Threw a really good-looking ball to Evers there at the end. Really got him some yards. That ball, it looked like it was going to be overthrown, but it came down right where it needed to be, and Evers did a good job of continuing to run. Made a nice catch. Their receiving yards, Evers ended up with 3 catches for 84 yards. Shaneman had 4 catches for 35. and Radzimski had 4 catches for 38. So they've got some potential, and they keep working. They're going to be in good shape.
And the man at the helm is Josh Hyatt, his first year in charge of the Gering High Bulldogs. Coach, thanks for stopping up. I know it's a tough night again on the scoreboard, but we're trying to look and find the positives. You got some nice young football players. I thought the number one thing your kids did tonight was play hard.
Yeah, that's what we're getting out of our kids right now is we're getting a lot of effort, a lot of potential is what we see. I mean, we were able to find some success and move the ball against their first team defense a little bit through the air. We have some good young kids, and we have some nice pieces. We're just putting it all together and starting to find what we can do really well together. And I think we keep building, and in the future we're going to see good football. We found some success and some consistency, which is the word we've been missing all season so far here tonight. Not enough, obviously, to put points on the board, but and I thought defensively we played hard. I thought we played a lot better.
Yeah, I thought early in the game, defensively, you made some contact on ball carriers at the line of scrimmage. And offensively, it seemed like in a few of the years prior to this one, Gering would do anything they could to simplify things, to keep the score as close as they could, and not take many chances. I thought what I saw from you tonight that I really liked, forget what the scoreboard's going to say. You wanted to do what you wanted to do, put your stamp on what you're going to do offensively, and you just scrap the running game. You put Walker out there, you let him throw it around, and you guys started to make some plays. And how were you feeling about watching that on the sideline?
We kind of scrapped the running game out of necessity. They were bringing heat into our run game that we couldn't pick up and couldn't get finished, and they're physical kids up front, so we were having trouble with that. So kind of out of necessity, we said, hey, let's just sling it around, man. We got athletes on the edges. That's where our best kids are at. Let's get them the ball in space and hope we can make enough plays to go down and move the ball. And we saw 3 or 4 drives in a row there where we were able to move the chains, which we couldn't do early on. But yeah, defensively, I thought we were doing a lot better job, and we just got to finish tackles. We were in the right spot, making contact, like you said. They have some dudes that are pretty shifty and pretty athletic, and we were able to hem them in for a while there. And I think most of their yards and their bigger plays came on 3rd and 4th down. I mean, we had them 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 5 and 4th and 5, and then they'd pick something up. So that's a mental part of the game that we got to get a little bit tougher at and a little bit stronger. And I thought our kids played hard, and I think they practiced hard, and I think we're going in the right direction.
Anthony Walker's a junior. He's a really tough kid. He'll run through a wall if you ask him to do that. Riley Shaneham, a tough kid in the slot. Brady Radzimski, those are all just tough young athletes, and they started to make some plays out there. Your 2 inside slot receivers look pretty good.
Yeah, we like those kids. They work their butts off. For being, and I see on your paper it says 170, 165. I might be fibbing a little bit on that. Those guys are 170, 165 pounds soaking wet with a bag of ice in their pocket. But they work their butts off, and that's the kind of kids that we're building around. The Adric Kahn up front, Max has done a really good job of just fighting it off for us. Guys are just really working hard, and we're showing progress, and we're making football look like football. And that's where we're going. That's what we want to be doing here.
You were without Garrett Imcon tonight. Is it going to be that way the rest of the year? I heard about a knee injury suffered on a Thursday practice. Can you explain that one to us? What happened?
We were in our walkthrough and going through our stuff. We're half racking our walkthrough, but we don't ever tackle. And we were doing a drill to kind of lighten the mood, and Garrett somehow ended up carrying the football. And somebody went low and tackled him, and I'm hoping it's a deep thigh, like bone bruise type thing that he'll be able to recover pretty quickly from. He's in good spirits. He looked good tonight. Pretty sore though still. But yeah, we're hoping we can get him back. He's a kid that we hate to lose. He's a cornerstone of what we want to build on going forward.
Looking at the remaining games you've got left on your schedule, you host Lex next week. They were got beat big tonight. Lions then a home game. They won to get to 3-2 at McCook. And then Shadron, who was up by, I think, 8 or 10 in the 4th quarter at Sydney tonight, and they were just 1-3. So when you're looking at the schedule, maybe the wins are going to be hard to come by, but do you like where your kids are at? Do you like the way you've been able to build this thing in year 1?
I love our kids. I think we have, like I said, hard-nosed, grinded out kind of kids, and they're resilient, and they fight back through everything, through thick and thin. I like our home games, our chances in our home games. McCook's going to be tough on the road. But those 3 teams that we get at our place, the way we're starting to come together, the way we're starting to look like a great football team. You know, we see the flashes in there is what I'm trying to get at. And if we can keep building on those flashes in those 3 home games, I think we have a chance in all of them.
Josh Hyatt, the head football coach for Gering. Coach, I know the scoreboards have been tough to read at the end of these games here in year 1. I like what I saw from your kids tonight. Nice effort. Keep working, keep building, and I know this thing will come together for you. Thanks for coming up for some post-game coaches' comments.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Yep, you too. Bottom line tonight, Scottsbluff just far too much talent, and they win it big 62-6. That was Gering head man Josh Hyatt. We'll come back and wrap things up, get to our Taco John's player of the game right after this on KNEB.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Bye, Mom.
Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
101.7 The Trail, and of course our TV broadcast on KNEB.TV. We heard from Scottsbluff assistant coach, offensive coordinator Judd Hall, and big thanks to Gering head coach Josh Hyatt for coming up, as we heard from both sides of this one tonight. Let's get to our Taco John's player of the game. Of course, brought to you by Taco John's of Scottsbluff and Gering. Make it a game day tradition. Unwrap the original before or after every game. I think it feels like we've tried to make sure we went other directions than Chris Busby on a lot of these Friday nights, because we always say, well, we're going to have plenty of options to give Chris player of the game. Tonight's going to be one of those. We're going to settle on Chris. 10 carries for 125, up over, 12 yards a pop on the night. Finished with just the one, he had 2 touchdown runs, 31-yarder, and he got that first one in the second half from 4 yards. Simply put, take tonight out of the equation. Chris Busby is one of the best football players in the state of Nebraska.
Oh, you're not a kid. And tonight he was able to really get it going, had some big gainers, no negative carries on the night. So, yeah, that's like we've talked a lot, and Chris is going to be right in the hunt for this every week. And, yeah, tonight's the night.
Big night for Chris Busby. Other big nights all the way around for Sebastian Harsh, Jacob Kruhl, Keegan Reifschneider scored on offense and on defense. So all in all, as you would expect for this matchup here this evening, as Scottsbluff wins it big at home over Gering 62-6. Again, Taco John's player of the game, Chris Busby for Scottsbluff. For Gering, I think you could probably go many different directions, but I like Brady Radzimski. He had some man coverage on some balls down around the end zone from his cornerback spot, made a few grabs, some tough catches with some contact near him offensively. Also, Anthony Walker and Riley Shaneman played well, but Brady Radzimski, as a young sophomore, thought he was up to the challenge tonight.
He was, Chris, and I think he had their longest run of the night too. He had that 32-yard rush, and I thought Walker did a good job of varying his throws. He in the passing game, he did a good job of putting some zip on the slants coming across the middle. Some of them, a couple got picked, but he put zip on them when he needed to put zip on. He threw a nice arcing long ball on that touchdown to Ebers. I was impressed with his accuracy on the flat passes going out too. So I thought he did a pretty good job overall for some of the pressure that he faced, and he's got some potential to keep working hard, and he does have a nice little receiving crew. That whole bunch of those kids did a good job of running routes and catching the ball in traffic, and that's all they can do. Keep working, get better.
Chris Busby for Scottsbluff, Brady Radzimski for Gering, our Taco John's players of the game tonight. Husker football bright and early for pregame at 5 tomorrow morning on 960 and 100.3. 9:15 we'll pick things up with the Husker Sports Network on 94.1 The Brand, and kickoff on both stations tomorrow morning at 10. Nebraska trying to avoid an 0-3 start. Tough building to try and get the job done at the Big House as they open Big Ten play against the Michigan Wolverines. That'll do it for Mike. I'm Chris Cottrell. Big thanks to Olivia back at the station running our radio broadcast, TJ on the TV side, and all our camera crew as well tonight, giving up their Friday night to make KNB.TV all possible here from Bearcat Stadium. For all those folks, I'm Chris Cottrell saying so long, and have a good rest of your Friday night and weekend, everybody.